I was like, I thought he was accused of these things. Like, how is he all of a sudden like completely not taking charges or taking accountability to
And
anything?
for the law to also say like lack of evidence.
Yeah.
But there was evidence, and that's how he was
Exactly.
convicted
Yeah.
prior.
And the night of the incident was
Yeah.
the night where the exact same time after the incident,
Mhm.
the women
Yeah.
filed the report.
Exactly.
So you can do DNA testing
Yeah, I
after
was gonna
that.
say, is there like public record of the test, or do you think they wiped it? Yeah.
It was like, okay, if that's what you're gonna see me as, then that's what
She'll mark
she
it off of it.
yeah, she marketed off of it to the point where she's started this selling soap,
Yeah.
bathwater soap
Mhm.
called Sweeney's bathwater soap.
Exactly. She's sending the bathwater. She takes a
Yeah.
bath
It's
in.
a so
and it's literally the audience is catered towards men.
Yeah.
So if you think about it in a way, they're empowering themselves. They're empowering the body. They're empowering everything that they can. But I think empowerment comes when it's just you taking charge of this is who I am and I'm not ashamed of it.
Mhm.
I agree.
And hypersexualization comes when you're basically selling a soap that has a hole in it. That's where you're sexualizing. You're
That's
putting
true.
yourself to be sexualized.
Because like
That is
for
true.
OnlyFans, like you pay, it's a subscription, right? So you pay
I
to
don't know.
see it.
That's a
I
career.
know.
Trying to
For
get me.
anyone who doesn't know, it's a subscription-based platform. So girls put their pictures on it, whatever, and you can purchase their pictures or videos, whatever it is. So I agree with you in that sense. Where in OnlyFans, like at least like they're putting it in a platform where not everyone has access to it, and only like their subscribers technically who pay for like their pictures. So it's a little bit different. But with Sydney Sweeney, like she's putting out in public and media to for everyone to see. You know,
And then she gets mad when everybody is like, she gets criticized for it, you know?
Welcome to News, Nonsense, and more. News, Nonsense, and more.
Hi guys, welcome back to another girls episode of News, Nonsense, and More. And today we have a really fun episode. I have here with me Adishree and Arya joining in. And we have a lot of different topics that we want to touch on. Some fun things, some heavy things, but it's going to be fun overall. Before I start and let our guest host introduce, I want to give a quick shout out to Aishwarya, Rani, Karki, who is a writer, and she's published Quiet Corner with Rani, which is a collection of personal essays on Substack, a space for creative expression, um, emotional truth, and often ignored but very alive inner voices that live within us. It's safe, reflective corner where honest expression meets authentic introspection. Drawing inspiration from real life, motherhood, heartbreak, cultural roots, purpose, fear, joy, and the quiet moments in between, Rani writes about the true process of becoming. Her work explores deep desires, the longing to understand one's path, generational trauma, grief, anger, anxiety, and the emotions we usually process alone in the room ourselves. But it isn't all heavy. Quiet Corner also celebrates the lighter things, rituals, routines, books, wellness, and also small practices that make everyday life softer, happier, and more meaningful. Her essays also explore what it means to become, to rebuild, to evolve, and to sit with emotions we often overlook or struggle to understand. Written from the perspective of a single mother raising her young son, her writing blends vulnerability, storytelling, and grounded insight. Readers come to Quiet Corner to feel seen, to process their emotion, and find comfort in knowing they're not alone in their journey. The writing feels like a warm conversation with a friend, soulful, thoughtful, and sprinkled with practical tips and a little bit of joy that makes life much better. Each essay invites the readers to reconnect with themselves and find pieces of their own story that is reflected back on them. Quiet Corner with Rani is a growing community for anyone that is navigating life, um, heartbreak, purpose, healing, and also rediscovery, as well as those simply looking for small glimmers that make everyday life richer. So if you guys are interested, you can connect with Aishwarya, Rani, Karki in our Substack, which is the Quiet Corner with Rani. We'll also have her Insta handles and TikTok handles and the other links down below over here. Now, moving on. It's a very, very, very chilly day today. Start of December in Texas. I don't think I've experienced this much cold ever before. But do you guys want to start? I know the audience kind of knows, but before we move on, want you guys to each give a small intro about yourself and how it feels like to be back on the pod.
I'll
You go
start.
first. Yeah.
Hi everyone, I'm Adishree. I was here I think about a month ago, and it was really really fun to just talk about my experience and just starting a nonprofit. So I just want to thank this entire team for letting me do that, and I'm so excited to be back and to talk about even more things on here that are really important.
I agree. My name's Arya, everyone, and I was here about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Same talking about my nonprofit, and I just want to thank everyone for letting me come back here and just, I guess, keep talking about more important topics. So very excited.
Awesome. So today, the first, and we also have our special guest on the back. If you want to say hi, just hi.
Hi.
That's all we're gonna get from our special guest today. And we also have Sushant in the back and Mike in the back, to help us if we mess anything up. This is an all girls episode, so that's how it's. But today we're gonna start with a very important topic that we wanted to touch on, and it's something that everybody within our podcast has been trying to talk about things. And it is about this one Nepali cricketer who has been out and about as a national celebrity, but has gotten into some scandals. So we're just gonna touch on that. I know Arya and Adishree are not very well aware about the case, but I'm gonna, just for the audience and everybody involved here, I'm just going to give a little bit breakdown on what this is about. So this is about a case on Sandeep Lamichhane, who was accused, and also before he was accused, convicted, then not convicted of some sexual assault charges. So we'll go with the convicted, and then like suddenly he's not convicted, lack of evidence part of it. And how the society kind of views certain male celebrities and how they look at males in general, in especially in the Nepal as a whole society. I mean,
Okay.
public is divided, but we'll get more into that. So, to anybody who does not know who Sandeep Lamichhane is, he is the he is a Nepali cricketer who also got into like the first global market of cricket. So with IPL, CPL, I think there's BBL or something like that, which is so funny because the only BBLs I know is something completely different. But he is known for being a leg spinner, which I don't know cricket terms
What does that
properly.
mean? Do you know?
You guys?
I have no idea what leg spinner means.
Leave
It's
the
basically a
sports to
type
me.
of bowling. It's like you spin the ball
Oh,
and it goes from like you attack the leg and then it's kind of like the ball spins away from the bat. If
Oh.
that makes sense if you're a right-hander.
okay.
Have you ever watched cricket?
Yeah.
Have you
I
guys ever
haven't.
watched
I
cricket?
know.
It's a boring.
Yeah, don't. I mean, it's not that boring. T20 is
I
pretty
mean,
fun.
not that it's boring. It's too long for me to like.
Yeah,
have full
you started off
attention.
pretty long. I mean, if I try to explain it to you guys, it just go over your head.
Okay.
But yeah, he's a sportsman. Just saying that.
Okay.
Okay. Anyways, he became a symbol of Nepali cricket sport in general, and that's how he turned into his rise, and it became huge. Like,
Mhm.
and he's also, I think, he was also the captain of the Nepali cricket team.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Anyways, he got into an allegation in 2022. So the alleged date of incident was August 21st, 2022, and the complaint was also filed on that exact same day.
Mhm.
So the victim is a young woman whose identity obviously is protected, and also referred in documents as Goshala 26.
Mhm.
and she met apparently him at a nightclub. He took her to a hotel in Kathmandu,
Mm-hmm.
and then she was intoxicated and she was not able to do any consent. So we know what happens next. He still goes ahead with his sexual intercourse and he rapes her in the hotel room. And she originally stated that she was under 18, but the court determined that she was 18 years old at the time.
Okay.
So I don't know how that came into play, but
Mhm.
um, the court said that she was 18, but she said she was under 18.
Mhm.
So not sure where that timeline is. However, in September 2022, there was an arrest warrant that was issued for him, and then um, he was in a different country playing for cricket.
Mhm.
So initially, he didn't return immediately because he was going to get arrested, and he returned and later on taken into custody. And in November 2022, he was sent to central jail during his trial. And in December, he was found guilty of rape under the Nepal's Criminal Code, Section 219, in the district court verdict. In January 10th of 2024, this incident first happened in 2022.
Yeah.
So it's 2023. They decided at the end of 2023 he was guilty of rape. Then on Jan 10, 2024, is when he received 8 years in prison, and he had to do 3 lakh Nepali rupees fine, and then also 2 lakh in compensation for the victim. And the Cricket Association of Nepal had also suspended him, so he was not allowed to play. In May 15, 2024, though, there was an acquittal by the Patan High Court, who overturned the district court decision, like the lower court decision, and acquitted him, saying that it was not fully public. But the reasons for like the acquittal, why they did that, never like said why they did that. Their reasons were never public, but usually it happens because of insufficient evidence or contradictory statements or burden of proof. So when that they said he didn't have enough evidence, and just so you know the timeline of this, that was when the World Cup cricket was around the same time happening. So funny enough, that's when he suddenly they lack proof, which does not make sense. Currently, as of now, he's now legally not guilty of any of the conviction, and they were all reversed. So he's not convicted or guilty of any rape charges, even though he was already convicted.
Yeah.
And his suspension was, they allowed him back to play in cricket.
Mhm.
That's when he played in the, I think, World Cup. And then he was also allowed to do international travel, but there was some complications for his visa.
Mhm.
And there's a split between the Nepali audience on if he's guilty or if he's not guilty. So they're in Nepali media and the whole audience space, there's a lot of biases where this was not covered completely in a lot of medias, and they kind of phased it out, and they would not talk about the details as much and make it more lighter, less emotional, and less front page energy.
Yeah.
Because this is literally a front page energy
Yeah.
thing. And then it was polarized because people were defending, saying like, no, he should not be convicted because he's a national treasure, because he's the captain and he's like the global cricket star of Nepal. Like nobody has been there before he did. So that's one thing. And then there's like, oh, people always point out to the celebrity. So usually people would like, anybody would try to take advantage of a celebrity.
Mhm.
So he's probably like innocent because people want to take advantage of him, was another
Mhm.
thing. And then obviously male privilege exists in Nepal very much in the society. And there was a lot of double standards for women who reported essay.
Mhm.
A similar case like that had happened before or around the same time, I don't remember, with this one actor called Paul Shah,
Mhm.
who also was found in a misconduct and an assault. And in both cases, like, the women who were involved in the case faced huge harassment, and people were just like siding with the celebrity rather than the facts or what was happening. For Polsha, he was involved with a minor who was a 16-year-old girl
That's
singer.
crazy.
Yeah,
Actually crazy.
and she was acquitted on rape but convicted for child abduction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he got charged with abduction instead
Child
of rape.
abduction, yeah.
Okay.
Wasn't it child molestation?
But
Same thing. Is that the same thing?
no,
or
it's not.
It's not, right?
It's different.
Yeah.
But he was
But-
abducted for child abduction. And then like the media kept on changing its tone.
Mhm.
There was a lot of inconsistency, and then there's always the fan narrative sometimes overpowering what the victim is, and there's a lot of victim blaming too,
Mhm.
saying like, well, if she knew what she was getting into, why did she get into it?
Mhm.
And I think Polsha is about almost 30
30.
years old.
Yeah.
So they're blaming a 16-year-old.
She's a child.
A
She's
child.
16.
Yes, a child, for something that an adult man maybe manipulated
Yeah.
her or whatever the case is. But there is a lot of like, you can see it clearly that society has this, I wouldn't say agenda, but a kind of a rose glass
Mm.
with celebrities or male personalities that they
Mhm.
admire.
Yeah.
And this is what, like, these are like two cases already of male celebrities. So
Mhm.
what is everybody's thought on the fact that these people are getting acquitted of all these things? However, when people see it in the media and
Mhm.
everything, they are not getting charged and actually getting the privilege to walk away and still do what they're doing, while the victims who have suffered not just the
Mhm.
molestation and assault are also suffering harassment from other people saying they're lying, and there's a lot of victim blaming going
Yeah.
on.
In my opinion, I think with the cricketer part, I genuinely think it's like a money scam or something. Because the fact that he was already convicted, he was in jail, and then before like the World Cup of what cricket happens is whenever he gets released. I genuinely think it's because the country knows that he's gonna bring in a lot of revenue because he's the only player that can possibly win. So I'm guessing it was like the big like political like scam, whatever scheme. And they were like, whatever, if he's gonna bring us money, might as well take him out. Like, I guess the girl doesn't matter at this point because we're gonna get more money for our
Yeah.
country, in my opinion.
No,
So,
I agree with you.
I agree. I
Right.
think that happens in Nepal more than we think, or just anywhere in general. If you have a lot of money,
yeah,
I think there's so many ways people use that money into power, and that's
Mhm.
definitely a really big one. Whenever
and it's
it
to make
comes
money
to-
too. Not even like you have money, but it's to like
Yeah.
gain more revenue.
Yeah, and you can get away with a lot of things
Yeah.
when you are in that position
When
of
you have power, yeah.
Yeah, and with his case, I know like the beginning where he went to jail, and I've heard so many different sides, and honestly, like just hearing it in person rather than seeing comments online makes me even
It's
more
a new perspective,
angrier
like actually like knowing
Um,
the story.
at the fact that people genuinely are on his side because he plays good cricket.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, it's like,
I think
do
it's
you want
morals.
exactly?
It's like
do
having
you want
morals to
someone with
understand
those
that
morals
that's wrong
to represent your country? Is
Yeah.
that who we want? And
yeah.
the answer is no. But I don't think people take that into account, and so I guess they kind of use that and as a defense, and they say no, it wasn't his fault. It was
Mhm.
it was a girl's.
Yeah.
She was 18.
So today, what I did was make Prapti like highlight the bullet points that came into this case and the timeline that happened. So she researched online. So the like with proof, it's not like the comments and you just read comments. Someone is defending
Yeah.
someone. It's like these are facts.
Yeah.
So depending on the facts, what do you guys think is the main question out here?
Like, as in, what do we think about
Yeah,
the
yeah.
situation?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Did you watch that one video with the Sandeep Lamichhane, and it was this guy with glasses explaining the entire timeline? Because I remember watching that video too,
yeah.
and
I think
and-
so. I know the YouTube channel you were talking
Yeah.
about.
that's usually where I go for whenever I'm looking for
He's
like
really
a
good in giving like all the
explaining.
details.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was with his case, I was a little confused because I was hearing things now that I was not. I was shocked that he was out of jail and not like he was not charged with anything.
Mhm.
So I was like, I thought he was accused of these things, like how is he all of a sudden like completely not taking charges or taking accountability to
And
anything?
for the law to also say like lack of evidence,
Yeah.
But there was evidence, and that's how he was
Exactly.
convicted
Yeah.
prior.
and the night of the incident was the night where the exact same time after the incident,
Mhm.
the women filed the report,
Exactly.
so you can do DNA testing
Yeah, I
after
was gonna
that.
say, is there like public record of the test, or do you think they wiped it?
There is lack of public.
They
That's the
didn't-
thing. There's the lack of
Mm.
transparency.
They
when it
didn't put
comes to all
any
these
effort
things.
Because I was
into
gonna
finding the
say, I'm
evidence.
sure for her to win, even originally, like they have to have some sort of proof, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, and I'm guessing she went to the doctor and got that test done. So that's how she won, like in the beginning.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing at the end of the day, they probably just wiped all the evidence they had,
Mhm.
technically.
What do you guys?
Or paid her a lot
Yeah.
of money
Yeah.
to shut up, basically.
They originally paid 2 lakhs on
Mhm.
Nepali.
Do you know how much that is, like USD?
$1,800.
1,800? Oh, it's not
Yeah.
even that much.
Yeah.
I was like, at least $2
Yeah.
million. Like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the
He
same
paid,
thing
like,
happened with.
Total of 5 lakhs, so that would be around 4,500.
Yeah.
4,500.
That's still not enough.
Enough
dollars,
for
yeah.
how much he makes? It's not okay.
No, it's not.
It's
But go on.
No, I have a question. Or like, I'm not trying to take sides. Do you feel like there are cases where, like, females also take advantage of men, right? In certain situations, like, like Neymar nearly got taken advantage of in a similar situation, and if it wasn't for that video evidence of the girl trying to like do something to him, like, he would have like probably at a young age not be the superstar that he is today. Do you feel like, you know, those girls that kind of do that act kind of also sway the public opinion of maybe like certain rulings? Like just a thought process just between the three of you, because you know how sometimes there's always bad apples, but that doesn't make all the apples bad, right? But because of the actions of one or two bad apples, does that have a bigger effect of how society kind of views the Sandeep Lamichhane thing? Because it kind of was set in stone, right? I know. Remember, he got arrested, and he was probably never going to play again. But then all these things happened.
Now, let's reverse that exact same thing and put it the opposite way, where what about all these men who are doing this and walking away free?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's the same kind of question, right? There's always going to be that margin of error for like both men and women who are going to be wrongfully convicted. There's always that. There's always that chance of that happening. Like I know, even I think it was like few years back when Drake, this girl had filed a complaint against Drake because it's a very messed up thing, fucked up thing. But he I don't know how to like say this. He had ejaculated in his condom or something like that, and he put hot sauce in it, Tabasco sauce.
Oh, I've heard of this.
She
Okay.
tried
I have
to
not heard of this.
Yeah.
I've heard of that. Yeah.
What are you guys
inseminate,
listening to?
inseminate that inside her so that she could have his baby.
Yeah.
And then she got mad at Drake. So she filed a complaint or something like that. And Drake was like, well, she tried to do something that was not supposed to happen, like against my consent. So
Yeah.
what I did was I killed those sperms that were supposed to create a baby by putting hot sauce in it. So that's something that happened. So yeah, obviously there are, he's still in shock.
Those are done by a lot of male celebrity in here in Hollywood. It's not just Drake. It's not
Yeah,
just Drake.
I know. I mean,
No. I'm just like giving an example. But what I'm saying is like, yes, there are cases like that. But when you have like certain proof
mhm.
and certain
Well, I'm not talking
evidences-
about the court case. The court is obviously like swayed, right?
Um,
I'm talking about public opinion,
I
because
think with
how you
public
said like
opinion, I don't think we see a lot of women wrongfully indicting men for like things. A lot of times, especially in Nepali society, women shut up and stay behind the closed
To
doors.
even talk about.
It is really hard
because
for
of, like,
you
the whole
to
society.
Yeah.
Like, so they're gonna blame you at the end of the day, even if it's like not your
exactly.
fault.
They
or just-
always make it the women's fault.
Mhm.
Like if you say I was wrongfully assaulted or treated, they would be like, then why were you there
Yeah.
in the first place?
you
Exactly.
put
It's
yourself there.
never
It's always your fault.
Yeah, it's never
always your
like
fault.
who was that?
Yeah.
Who was that? Let's take an action. It's more of a like, why were you there in the
Yeah.
Put
first
yourself
place?
there.
Yeah.
Like, didn't you know better to not be there, or didn't you know better not to do this? You should have stayed home.
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
never about the independence of women, but rather like, well, you should have stayed behind the closed doors.
You
And
get-
you would have been
I
safe.
so disagree. I'm so sorry, Prapti, but I so disagree with that. I mean, the topic that we were talking right now is very sensitive, right?
Yeah.
That's where we need a right judgment. I blame on government, I blame on judgment, okay? There are two sides of the people right there just because there were like different verdict on the same cases,
Yeah.
I'll say. And talking about the girls always putting on the blame, I'll say there are girls who are also doing bad things in the world,
True.
right?
Mhm.
I'm not saying that I'm always with girls. No, I'm with boys as well, okay? Just I'm like here to say that, you know, you have to make a right judgment and make sure that actual victim would get you know, what do you say? Actual victim would get
Justice.
yeah, justice. That's the word. I'm with that. Now I know the society is like that and we need to change, like for sure. But changes are happening and I guess we have to stay in a mutual ground and think about it because it depends on cases and cases, right? We cannot make a judgment that okay, only women are getting, you know, that thing and then women are hated in the society. Other my family, like women are treated good, I'll say, right? So it's so hard to make that judgment. I just wanted to disagree with you.
No, I agree with you on that. Like, there's always, obviously, there's always logical people out
Mhm.
there and families out there, but most women is like most part of like, especially rural areas, because we're talking about women who do not have a voice of their own.
Yeah.
And when they do bring out the voice of your own, especially in like Nepali society is what I'm referring to, you don't see that a lot.
Mhm.
Even here, you don't see that a lot because it affects not just your reputation, your family's reputation, your career, everything is kind of tied to you. So usually, unless they're very, very evil people,
Yeah.
and there are some evil people out there. I'm not going to discard that because I have witnessed something where a woman has wrongfully convicted, like tried to blame a man for something that had never happened in the first place either. So that's something I completely agree with. But what I'm trying to say is like usually it's harder for people to speak up about their own experiences and where they're coming from.
Mhm.
So for like usually society to directly victim blame, that's where I was going. It was like for society to directly victim blame and put it on a girl who's young, because both of the girls in this case, one was 18, one was 16. They're not even, they're just
Adults.
teenagers.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
children.
They're just children. Come on,
Yeah.
like, which is why I think for them to like come and say stuff like that, that's where the introspective comes in of like, it's something that's really hard. So for them to come and speak up, I think it's really amazing. Again, with what
Now I agree with you. Yes.
Yes.
The rural places and the underage people are always the
Yeah.
one that needs the education and stuff.
Exactly.
And I always wanted to ask, where are these Miss Nepals over those rural places
Uh-huh.
promoting feminism, right?
They're
There
urban.
we are educated, and then the one you know, from the educated background, we are already like, you know, feminist, and we're already over part, and we already like, you know what's going on. But the actual thing that's needed to be done is in the rural areas.
Yeah.
Okay, where are these people? Where are these activists? Right?
Yeah.
That's always been my question.
And
That's
I agree
that's
with you on that. And then also the government part,
yeah.
where our government, according to the policies, has, it sounds so open-minded. It's so ahead of its time. Like same-sex marriage is legal. There's so many things in Nepal that's legal that you would think like, wait, what?
Yeah.
But
It was actually one of the first countries to
yeah,
allow same-sex marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is
It's true.
crazy thinking
which is
about.
crazy because when it comes to there's a big, big, big gap between society and the government and the policies within.
Mhm.
So it's the society that kind of like moves the government, but the government should be moved by policies. So I think there is a big gap between that part. So I do agree with you, or the government should be taking action on making sure that their policies is right, because this could be a case where one of them is walking away free. how many other cases like needs to come up over and over again
Yeah.
for all these women to actually be getting justices?
Yeah.
Not just like these two women, but all the other women who are not speaking up. There's women out there getting raped by maybe their husband, their family members. I've heard horror stories of people who have like been assaulted in cases, yet the government does not do a lot because the society is like, well, you should not talk about
It's
this.
so hush hush.
Yeah, it's a
Exactly.
hush-hush situation.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure like what I think people should be more vocal about these things.
Yeah. And it's really wrong. Like, just like you mentioned, I think it is wrong to take advantage of that and to, because I know I've also heard of cases where women have taken advantage of men and like they accuse them of something that has never happened, and that's just terribly wrong in so many situations. So I see the perspective of like if people are genuinely seeing it from that perspective, I get it, I understand, but I think there's also a larger amount of people that I just think that would kind of discourage more girls to stand up whenever they feel sexually assaulted or whenever they are in that situation. I feel like when you hear things like that in society where they're like, it's the woman's fault, she's just wrongfully accusing this man because he's a celebrity and he wouldn't do that. He's a well-known man, like he's a cricket player. He wouldn't do that, so she's just trying to ruin his career and his reputation. Like that to me, like it would just put other people that genuinely have experienced that down. So I feel like it is important to kind of support the victim in that time.
Yeah.
If that victim or if whoever, let's say that girl is in the wrong and she did wrongfully accuse him, then that's just a terrible person. That's just what it is.
So you guys discussed all about this thing. So I'll give you the reality of how like actually it's because I've been in Nepal for so long, and I have like male friends in that logical areas, how they think about and how they like discuss about it. So I'll give one by one like how they think about it. And male like young gender in Nepal, they think about these things what like think, and they think it's right or it's casual, it's a schedule to do it with girls, to go like there will be group of friends and they'll call girls and they'll get intoxicated, and these kind of things actually happen in other cases too. And what they think about is that like if that girl is like going out with a guy and he does something, they'll just like a slut or something, they like diminish the girl's image. It's that kind of logic that the young male in Nepal actually have, and my friends are among them. I'm gonna call out names, but I would like to say, and I've discussed with them many times, like like this is so wrong. I would say, and like they would say, "Hey, यस्तो त हो नि नेपालमा, like हुन्छ नि, अनि केटी त हो यो केटी यस्तो 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 हो यस्तो यस्तो हो भनेर भन्थे कि." Like they would say in Nepali, होइन. अनि केटी भनेको यस्तो हुनु हुँदैन, उनीहरूको यस्तो अथोरिटी हुँदैन. This is the real mentality of a young Nepalese male.
That's what I don't like. Like they want the girls who also like go out because that's what they're chasing, right? Like they want that girl who's out there with the other guy. Yeah. But then like whenever she is there, then she's like name called, saying she's a slut. So what do you actually want? A girl who's at home or who's out that you're actually name calling that you actually want?
It's good that you spoke up though, because a lot of people don't. Yeah, even within their friend circles.
That's what I'm trying to say. I've spoken with many girls, and the way the Nepalese male mentality treats women, it's not like over here. It's like totally different out there, and like
it's very like small-minded.
It's
you know,
it's like small-minded people. That's what that was. And if you like a girl, especially in religion, but the girl doesn't like you, and they really start spreading rumors about the
I've
girl.
heard about this. Yeah.
And that's actually what's happening in Nepal. Like they try to fight back, but like the society just like pushes it away. Like
why do you think that is though? I'm curious.
That's what I'm trying to say. That
I
is
think
how
it's
it is.
historical. It's always like male dominated. For anything.
It's really male dominated. The logic, and they think it's casual. Like
it all starts from home. The root cause is from where you grow up and hearing things from your parents and seeing things. Like when you go to Nepal, when I go to Nepal, I think this is like common with a lot of families. Take a look at your surroundings. Who is in the kitchen and who is in the sofa in the living room when you have a big event, especially during Dasai Tihar? Who is working and who is just having fun?
Chilling.
Yeah, who's playing tas and
Like
who's in the
tas
kitchen?
and then like eating
It
and
is
then drinking.
it is the women that are in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So this is what men are growing. These are the type of households that men are growing in. So of course they're gonna diminish women, because they didn't grow up in that environment where the dad isn't like, okay, timi pani ramailo गर म एकछिन किचनमा काम गर्छु. Let's equalize this, because that son is not gonna grow up to say such words to other women, because
Yeah.
he sees that in his own home, the women in his own home are being respected and well treated.
And the thing is, you guys are speaking out. I'm really glad you're here in USA and not in Nepal, because
Yeah.
you would be ridiculed over there.
Yeah.
And you can speak up and live freely over here, right?
Yeah.
Because if in Nepal, they would just tell you, shut your mouth.
Yup.
Yeah.
They would say,
And I've gotten
to discuss on topics like this.
Yeah.
I am that person who gets told to shut up because
Yeah.
I speak
Yeah.
out on these things.
Me too.
So, and I don't mind. Tell me to shut up. I'll continue talking.
I have
Yeah.
my opinions.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the reality. It's coming from me, and I have a lot of guy friends, and that's what they would say, and that's what some of them actually have said. I gave them my podcast links and all, and
Yeah.
told them to think about this. And there's Prapti who fights for women, this kind of thing. They were like, "Why talk about this? Just shut up!" And like that's what their
Did they
response
actually
is.
said that?
Yeah,
That's
they
Oh
actually
my
said that.
God, that's crazy.
That's crazy,
Yeah.
man.
And I would say, like, why? Because we are trying to do this kind of podcast to bring everyone's a verdict out and try to solve the problems. And this is what the problem is right now. So my question is to you guys: is how do you solve this problem of the male mentality thinking like this in Nepal?
I think it's very deeply rooted within generational.
Yeah.
It's a generational trauma.
It'll-
Simply put.
Yeah. Like I don't even know how you could even fix this, because
But this needs to be
it's the new
fixed.
generation.
with
It has to
time-
be fixed.
with time, it'll be fixed.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
with our generation, I'm not raising my sons to grow that
Yeah.
way. And I know so many of my friends aren't. It's just until that generation is wiped out, we'll
Yeah.
be fine.
No, I'm saying
think
about
I'm
how to
curious.
change it is in Nepal. Nepal is a total different structure.
No,
The women
I know
think
that,
totally
right?
different
I'm
over
curious
that.
because I know Prapti, you grew up around that, right?
Yeah.
But Adishree and Arya, you guys came here as a young, like pretty much like toddlers, right?
Yeah.
And how was your experience growing up here?
Mhm.
Like seeing your mom and dad, and do you feel like that kind of shaped you
Yeah.
to be more expressive and to be more
Yeah, I think for me personally, my dad's the one who's cooking all the time. It's not
Yeah.
my mom. So it's
Aw.
completely opposite in my household, where I
Love
grew up
that.
with a family where my dad was never like, oh, like you have to be the one to clean and cook. Like he is cleaning and he is cooking. My mom is not going to accept anything else. So for me, I've been taught to where, like, for my husband, boyfriend, whatever, like if he doesn't do like the bare minimum of, okay, if
Cooking
I
and cleaning.
cook, like at least you can clean. Or like, if
That's true.
if you cook, I'll clean. We'll be like 50-50, or even you a little bit more, honestly. Like, whatever. Like, you're a man. You
take
can,
the
you
whole
can
load.
do
We don't
more.
mind.
But like, I've been taught in a way where I have to respect myself and be with someone who equally respects me for who I am, So like, I'm going to go to work. I'm going to have my own life, my own friends, whatever. And he has to be okay with that, or else he's not for me. Like, I wouldn't be the person like that, in my opinion. So it's just how I was raised.
I agree with you. Sorry, this should I'm not trying to cut you off, but I think when you say with male members in the family, right?
Mm.
What I've noticed is people have this, like, a lot of times they say stuff like, "Well, our mom and dad, or the generation before us, was not like this. We've done a lot more," and for them, just a little bit more is a lot. I don't know how to put it in words,
Yeah.
but they have seen generations of like people disrespecting each other, but I guess they have seen some form of respect as well, where the respect that they have for each other somehow cancels out the more disrespect that a male member of the family might have for the female member of the family. Even in today's day, it's more around the lines. I would be giving such a bad example, but it's okay. I'll put myself on the spot. When I say I want somebody in my life, and I want somebody to do bare minimum, everything that I can do, And that should be like the bare minimum, right?
Yeah.
Like being able to do that stuff is bare minimum. But when I put that out, I've heard from people where they say, you're asking too much. You're doing too much.
But for the right person,
For
it's
the-
not too much.
Exactly. And it's more along the lines of where the society is kind of made in this way where if a man asks for a wife and he has certain qualities he wants in a wife,
Mhm.
the society
It's
accepts it
respected.
gladly. They're like, oh, okay, we'll find you a girl
We'll
like
find
that.
you better. It's okay.
We'll find you better. Yeah, like, she's everything. But if a woman does the same thing and asks for a guy,
Mhm.
and she has her list, just like the man might, then
Mhm.
you are a woman, you are a girl, you're running out of your time. Why are you asking for too much? If you don't get married right now,
Mhm.
you're going to lose your time. You're going to. It's okay for men, but it's not okay for you. I think the society in itself has shaped men and women in certain ways where they kind of shape men to think like they have a lot
They
less
have the
to lose
power.
than the women do.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of like power dynamics
Mhm.
that comes along that's
I mean,
kind
there's
of
always
set
been
up.
power dynamic. You know what I
And-
mean? Since the beginning.
It's probably done subconsciously or something that they've learned. If it's consciously, then I'm so sorry. You guys are so much in the wrong. I have like no words to explain it. But if it's subconsciously, then
Yeah.
like you try to like educate them, right? But they have their brains and their minds have been engraved to the point that they cannot see any other perspective,
Yeah.
like for a
Mhm.
woman to be more overpowering. They
Mhm.
they sometimes say stuff like, "Well, you don't want to be better than your husband at this,"
Yeah.
Yeah.
which does not make sense because if you want to have a husband or if you want to have a partner, why wouldn't you want to see your partner be better at something
Yeah.
than you do?
Yeah.
And it's always that power dynamic that
Mhm.
I think comes in the end to play.
Yeah.
But so sorry to interrupt.
I think one reason for this is I feel like a lot of, if you notice, I feel like I've seen a pattern in this, but a lot of parents in that generation who had a love marriage don't say things like this
Yeah.
that much.
So
it's the
true.
ones that have an
Arranged
arranged because they don't
marriage.
know what
My
it.
parents in arranged marriage, actually, for like the
Um,
dynamic they have
Yeah,
right now.
same. But I feel like my parents had an arranged marriage, but my parents got lucky, like
Yeah.
with what they have. Even though there's always room for improvement, but I,
Yeah.
based on what I've seen, I definitely think they got lucky. Based on like just everything else, but I think it's that arranged marriage part that just makes a big difference because they don't know what it's like to have someone or that have that love story where that guy is genuinely willing to do anything for you. They don't know what that's like, so that's why they feel like you're asking for too much because that's what they were told when they were
Mhm.
getting married. They were told that you're just gonna marry this guy that we chose out for you.
Mhm.
And you have
He-
to be able to suffer anything that
Exact-
they do. Because
Exactly.
if you separate a society, like,
Yeah.
what would the society say?
Yeah.
Samajle ke bhancha?
Yeah.
Samajle.
I think one thing that I get told a lot is like I even got told this by my mom this, but she was like, "You're gonna have to learn how to compromise, like when you get married
Yeah.
on the littlest things." And I was like, I'm not compromising on anything. Like I'll tell you this straight up, I'm not like okay, some things I will compromise, but I'm not
But you
gonna
wanna do
compromise
it
on
willingly.
exactly.
You don't
Yeah.
want to be forced to compromise.
Exactly. I don't
Yeah.
want that mindset where I'm like like I'm forced to get married, and in the back of my head, I'm like, if anything happens, I'm gonna compromise.
But he
Like,
has to as well. Like he has to
Exactly.
compromise.
It has
It's
to.
not only you.
But I hope this answered your question. I know we went on a whole
Yeah, this
tangent
is
A
like a
different,
whole
about
other
power
direction.
dynamics.
So my second scenario was like what I told was the young minds mentality is totally different towards
Yeah.
women and how they think.
Mhm.
And I have like faced this experiences talking with my friends and my juniors and my seniors. That's how the mentality is. But what the law in Nepal is totally different. It's more supporting towards women.
Mhm.
The law is designed to support more towards women, but the society, the adults in the society, like
Exactly.
is more like lenient toward male.
Men.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So what's happening over here? So what do you think is this case? And actually, with the law like that, as Rashmi said, or as you guys think, lots of women also have taken advantages of like innocent men.
Mhm.
So there is your scenario, and there is this bubble, or there is this mix. How do you solve it?
I think you just have to wait for this generation of like older people who have these really narrow mindsets to kind of be gone.
Take them out of the picture, right?
We gotta get rid of them.
I love that answer. So honest.
Straight to the
because
point.
Let them be dead.
especially
Yeah,
like
like,
in
let
Nepal,
them
it's
die.
so
Wipe them out.
hard to change their minds because
Yeah.
they've grown up for years with the same mindset. So like unless they're very, very open to learning about new things, it's
Yeah.
really hard to integrate a new, like completely new like idea into their heads, right?
True.
So I think it's literally like the time game. Like you
But
have to wait, in my opinion.
I do feel like when different household, like when a different auntie changes her mind, I do feel like it influences them. It has to be someone in their circle and their age group that
Yeah.
starts to have
Have
that
that
change in
conversation.
mindset that makes
But that
them
would
think.
start like very
Because that's how
slowly,
we're
though.
built upon. Like we're in the end of the day, like we are built upon this society, and the number one thing that drives a Nepali society
Mhm.
is other people, like what other people say.
Yeah.
So if other people approve of it, it's
But then
fine.
who
It's okay.
will? You know,
Nepali
like who
society is a
will?
society of people pleasers.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't care about their happiness.
Exactly.
They care more about what other,
Other people
people,
are gonna say.
think
Yeah.
about their happiness. That's gonna bring them more happiness.
See, I hate that
that's the
culture
reason.
of ours. Like I
Yeah.
just completely hate it.
And it's not for everybody though. Like I've seen people who don't care about other people's opinion,
Mhm.
and those are the people who are also the happiest and
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
successful in life.
Yeah.
Because they don't care.
Mhm.
They don't care what people say because they know their own truth.
Yeah.
But however, most people out there are going to care about what people think, and I hate to say this, but a lot of times with your question, how it goes is like छोरा मान्छे भनेको त head of household.
Mhm.
छोरी मान्छे भनेको अर्काको छोरी पछि मान्छेहरूले बिर्सिहाल्छ नि. It does not matter.
Yeah.
So it kind of, I think, goes around that vicinity of things, and that's why they get more lenient towards male members because they're like,
Okay.
oh, he needs to paling his
Yeah.
family, he needs to
Mhm.
take over his like whatever it is,
Yeah.
and all that shit.
Okay. Any last verdict from Rashmi in this in this topic? I think you agree with this. You have
I
told.
kind of agree. I kind of disagree because I have my own friends who are young, educated, and have like that kind of mindset still. And I don't have an answer how to change them. It's not like the only old people. I have seen some of the young people having that mindset, you know, because like, okay, if I am a guy, then if I'll marry someone, she should be under me no matter what. I do have my own friends and I couldn't change their mindset. You know, so I'm like, kind of agree, kind of disagree. I don't have any like, you know, factual answer for that. I guess it's all depends on people.
I
Okay.
think that's just their like
Yeah.
Or a male
insecurity.
ego, honestly.
Yeah,
you
it's just
know?
them not feeling masculine enough that
Yeah.
they need to feel like they're in power and over the woman, on top of the woman.
I think you know, one of the things is I think men need to speak out for women. I think one of the videos that went viral recently, Ria, she was here recently, and in that video there was a lot of like guys saying that you are speaking in English or your English sucks, or I thought you were a guy but you're actually a girl, right? So those are the type of comments that was there. And the first thing I did was I told her, don't respond to it.
Mhm.
I'll take care of it,
Yeah.
right? And for the ones who were speaking in Nepali, they were using the English alphabet,
Mhm.
but they were like, you know,
Yeah.
spelling it
Spelling
out
in
in
Nepali.
in Nepali
Yeah.
words. So then my response was, wow, you're using English alphabets to write in Nepali and you're asking someone not to speak in English? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Right? You know, that's one
Yeah.
one of the responses. I was pretty busy that day.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then for the ones that look like said like you look like a guy, I said like I'm sure that you wouldn't like someone saying that to your mom or sister or the
Yeah.
females in your household, right?
Yeah,
know,
that's
tho-
what I'm trying to say. This is the like logic that this young men in Nepalese society have to like diminish the other side, you know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying, and this is the real example. You can just go to the comment section and find it out there. So,
Mhm.
I see
so
my comments.
yeah,
I think people, like, especially in the society, they're so used to for females to be, women in general, to be submissive,
Mhm.
that when they start becoming independent, that's somewhere like
Too
maybe
much for the men.
yeah, it's too much for them, where they're like, even like I showed you that there was this one video of a guy saying like, oh, if my girl goes out, you know who I'm talking about, goes out and talks to other, like if she's on like if they're coming out and like she's like meeting people and she's extroverted, he said, oh, like he's gonna question her because why does she know so many people or something like that, and he's gonna have like questions about like her personality and her character. And I was like, just because she talks to people,
Yeah.
just because like people see her and just, like wave at her and talk to her, like that's the mentality. They want somebody who's submissive, who is quiet.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for a lot of us, that's how mothers
Parents-
are.
Yeah.
And they see that
They want that.
and they
motherly-
want that in
yeah.
their partner. Some mommy issues maybe, like
Yeah.
I don't know, but it could be one of the reasons why that could be a thing. Not saying it's 100% that, but that's one of my like
No, I agree. I feel like
Observance.
it's generational. Like you said, whenever you're at home, like you learn what your like parents are doing. You watch them, you observe, right? So it's like if I wasn't grown up in a household where my like dad was the one like doing everything, like I don't know if I would have this mindset, you know? I really don't know. But I think for like my example, like my dad grew up with his mom doing everything. You know, like she'd be the one who's cooking, cleaning, whatever. Like it was way back in Nepal. So I'm sure that's how it was. But in his example, like he came here with a very open mind, which I would say, which I think people could really even learn from my own dad, honestly, of being able to kind of progress with society and learning that you can't always have this old mindset because it's going to set you back in life, honestly. And it is. It's setting society back in life, in my opinion. So I think it's just having the willingness to even like open up your mind even a little bit, you know? And for like one example, my grandparents, they came to America like last year, a couple of years ago. And my grandpa, he was like, if you don't marry a guy who's like Bamoon and like who is all of this, like I'm not gonna come to your wedding. And for me, like I'm like you don't have to be a
she's
certain
like
age.
you're already uninvited.
No,
Then
literally, like I think you can never stop learning in life. I told my grandpa, I was like, then don't come. To my own grandpa, I was like, I'm sorry, then don't come.
called it.
Because
You said that?
yeah, I
Called
did.
it. Called
Because
it,
I was
yeah.
like, I'm gonna love who I love and I'll marry who I want to marry, but it's up to you to have an open mind. So if you want to come, you can come. If not, you don't have to come. I'll marry him anyway.
Yeah.
You know, and after
called
that, he
it.
never questioned me. I will say, after that, he learned to like
I
have
do-
an opener
yeah.
mind. I will
You
say.
do need to.
So you have to call
Put
them out.
yourself-
You
yeah.
have to call them out.
Yeah.
But getting to the end of my story, I think it's just like, even like you said, someone has to speak up a little bit about it. But it's just being able to talk about that situation and just say, you know, like maybe open up my mind just like a little bit. You know, a little bit goes a long way.
Mm-hmm.
I have a
So.
question for you guys in the back. Why do you think public forgives male celebrities a lot faster? Because there are other males out there who have also been convicted, but they don't get this forgiveness as fast. Why do you think that exists for celebrities in general?
I think they have a very good PR team. They make a lot of money and they
Yeah.
use that money.
No,
Like,
it's not just the
I-
PR team. It's the like. That's what I say. The mentality behind it, and
No,
how
even-
how easy it's to manipulate the people.
Yeah, that's
that,
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
The PR team. Like I feel like there's a lot of divide and conquer when it comes to narratives.
Hmm.
You know, if you ask me individually, like P. Diddy should be in jail for like 35, 40
Mhm.
years.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Harvey Weinstein should be in jail for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Right? But the problem with society itself,
I
you
thought
can
you
be
were
in
gonna
America.
name one more name, and I was like, I hope you don't. But okay.
Give
The
me
one
hints.
who shall not be named.
One who shall not be named. I mean, yeah, that guy too, right? But I now know what you're talking about. He speaks with his hands like this, right? Yep,
Yeah.
that's the one. Okay.
I think people got it.
Yeah. So everybody got it. I think it's just the fact that society everywhere, it's kind of like that. I think it's better in some places than others, but it's again, it comes down to the narrative that's out there. I mean, and it goes both ways too. Like sometimes the internet, like even before you are convicted or if you're innocent, proven innocent, the internet sometimes is very quick to react and say that you're already guilty. Because let's flip it around too. About all, let's say if there's an innocent guy or an innocent girl that gets convicted or is as charged with something, right? They're automatically like guilty. Like that Man City player, Fernandez or whatever it was, what his name was, right? He was again same case, like saying that it was a rape case.
Mm.
So he lost his contract with Man City. At that time, they were hot, right? And at the end of the day, was proven not guilty, just like something like Neymar. But 4 years of his life was ruined.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, 4
Yeah.
years of his life was ruined, and you know he
4
just
years of his
lost his
career.
career,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, I mean, you know, and sometimes even domestic abuse, like within like toxic relationships.
Yeah.
You know, the wife sometimes, like Mason Greenwood, right? Remember
Yeah,
that one?
yeah.
In his situation, he was a Manchester United player, and he was up and coming. He was good. I mean, he was wrong too, the way he spoke to his baby mama / girlfriend / wife now, right? But she put that
So
audio out there
confusing.
because they had a very toxic relationship,
Mm.
and she kind of indirectly ruined his career and then whatever they could have for the both of them. And
Yeah.
then he was also proven not guilty because
It's
she took the
much
case back.
more easier for the male side PR because the society is gonna
Yeah.
like support you more. So
Yeah.
it's
Mhm.
much more
There is a
easier for the
bias.
male side PR
Yeah.
than the
Yeah.
women's side. The women's side PR can do good, but has to put a lot of effort. That's it.
Yeah,
I
mean,
think, and it's a
even for the
general
Me
celebrities,
Too,
thing.
for
even for the Me Too
celebrities.
Yeah.
movement, yeah, the Me Too movement with Harvey Weinstein, it was
Yeah.
even like met with a lot of like criticism too.
Yeah.
It's all
You
like
know?
I think the media bias for
Yeah.
male is like everywhere in the world, not just here, not just in Nepal. I mean, but even in the U.S., even anywhere else in the world. I think it's the same story everywhere. It's always harder for women to come up,
Yeah.
which leads me to our next topic of discussion, which is going to be about women empowerment. So I know like these days we see a lot of women talk about things, they're more opinionated. They for example me, I'm very opinionated and I get a lot of shit for being as opinionated as I am.
Mhm.
I don't shut up. If I don't agree with you, I don't agree with you. I'll
Yeah.
fight you. But however, like there are a lot of things that come in empowerment
Mhm.
and that can eventually lead to the downhill of empowerment. What would that be? Disempowerment? Like yeah, so like and for this case we're going to use and this was suggested by Adishree, Sydney Sweeney as an example
Mm.
of like her first coming to the industry. And I think she was a child act. She did some SVU or SVU, Law and Order.
Really?
Yeah, she did like an episode or two, like that's where she started. And then she did probably, I don't know, something else, and then she did
Mhm.
Euphoria.
Yeah.
And in Euphoria she was heavily criticized as well as what's the word?
Fantasized, glamorized,
Glamorized? No. Also kind of like a thumbs up. What's the word? I forgot.
approval.
Not approval. But people were also saying like giving her credit for like taking charge of her body.
Mm.
However, the scenes that she did later on, she said like there was a lot of nudity involved. And she used people sexualizing her as
Yeah.
an advantage to her.
Career.
Her
And
fame, yeah.
It was like, okay, if that's what you're gonna see me as,
Mhm.
then that's what
She'll
she
market off of it.
yeah, she marketed off of it to the point where she's started this selling soap,
Yeah.
bathwater soap
Mhm.
called Sydney Sweeney's bathwater soap.
What are you talking? She's selling the bathwater. She takes a
Yeah.
bath
It's
in.
a so
and it's literally the audience is catered towards men.
men.
Yeah.
So
It's a
I mean, don't get me wrong. I didn't know her until like I saw like Euphoria. I was like,
obviously
hot diggity damn,
Yeah.
like you know, like but I didn't know. I thought because some women are also very, you know, they don't really like hold themselves back, right? They'll put themselves out there.
yeah.
And you know, back in the day, they'll be like, "Oh my God, this actress is very, you know, out there," and you know, dating was very hard. But now, I think nowadays it's a lot more accepted
Yeah.
or accepting by some guys or maybe simps. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I mean, I didn't know she sold bathwater.
Yeah.
So what happened was, to get back to the story, I don't know if you guys have seen the ad for Gap.
Oh,
Okay,
no,
explain that to me. I didn't get it.
American,
American. I'm
American
sorry,
Eagle.
not Gap. Gap was done by Cat's Eye.
Yeah, it was
American
American
Eagle.
Okay,
Amer-
explain that to me. I have no idea why that happened. So
So they were doing the ad for jeans, and she talks about her jeans, but jeans as in not jeans, but jeans. That
Like how she's
jeans
blonde,
are
DNA,
passed
DNA.
down
blue
by
eyes.
generation. And the ad in itself, like I know it was done by American Eagle, the brand itself, but they heavily focused on jeans are passed down. And the jeans that she has is blonde hair, she's white,
Blue eyes.
blue eyes, everything that is a little bit Caucasian catered, I
Mhm.
guess. That's the way I could put it. And she got a lot of backlash for it, which, if you think about it, I mean, she didn't. I don't know if she had like a lot of creative control in the ad. If she didn't, then I feel bad for her. If she did, then, well, shame on you.
no, but then if I'm hearing that for the first time, right? Because I didn't know
you have to
the.
watch it.
Yeah, I get it. But like, even if someone says jeans,
Mhm.
I mean, if she's using the whole over sexualization that she's saying, she's probably talking about the jeans.
No. She was. It
So
was.
it wasn't intended like I'm sexy.
She said like I have blue jeans, like or like something like that.
Yeah.
right? Like, and I have blue
My
jeans.
jeans are blue.
Oh yeah. So I was like, she's talking
Yeah,
about her
that's
eye
it.
color.
That's the whole commercial.
That's the whole commercial. But it's also said in a very sexual
Yeah,
way.
it's
Yeah,
you
but so
could
the
tell.
emphasis on this in the sexual nature of it, right? I mean, that's how I'm thinking about it.
That's why I said we need to watch it.
I'll watch it.
Okay. I know we can watch it later. But what happened was with this ad that came out, after that she got a lot of backlash
Mm.
for doing this. And before that, she also had a lot of controversy because of her entire family being a certain, can we say it? I don't want to say it. Anyways, her entire family was MAGA, blah blah
Yeah.
blah.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
that Confederate flags or whatnot. Like there's like those, yes, conservative, a little bit racist. Like they had some racist stuff that I think came out. So when she said her jeans are blue, that kind of rubbed off people in a very
Yeah.
wrong way.
Mhm.
And that at the same time, she also had her bath water soap out,
Mhm.
which is literally like a soap that is a circle cylinder,
Yeah.
and there's a hole in between
a-
for the bath water.
Yeah, I don't
It's an
think
actual
that
soap?
soap is made out of the bath water. They're just marketing it.
Yeah, it's
There's-
marketed as
Yes.
her bath water.
I don't think it
Yes.
actually is. Apart from the girls who actually sell their bath water
Yeah, that's what I
online, those are different. But it's
but
just
then-
a soap. They just branded it as
And
bath
has a
water.
hole
That's
in
it.
between.
I don't think people can make that
That's so
much.
funny.
I mean, you can see the sexual nature of the soap
no,
as
no,
well.
I get
right?
it. I get it. That's who would buy that soap, dude?
A lot of
A lot of
people.
men.
A lot of men.
From India, I think.
Oh man.
That is too good. Oh my god.
Yeah, that is
Okay.
true.
How do you know this?
Because according to like facts from where the purchases are coming for fingernails and bath water are like mostly from India.
That's crazy.
No way.
Yeah, you can find that out. Anybody can go.
I
and
mean,
sell.
yeah.
I wouldn't know, but
So
You
knowing
know what?
after-
You know, as you say that, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
that, but I didn't know that was too
So-
controversial.
So hearing after everything, I know like you guys were very aware, but
Mhm.
I wanted to get Rashmi's thoughts on it. On, do you think like that's an empowering movement or that's an hypersexualization movement? Like where is the line where people draw that?
I don't think that's empowering at all. That was not needed, I'll say. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know how they came up with that idea and why people are mad about it. I don't get it. But I don't think that was needed in
But
the
you told
like,
me you
in the
wanted to
world.
buy that stuff.
Never. Never knew about it.
I have a
And-
sub question to that. You know, since you asked Rashmita, what do you guys think about OnlyFans chicks? Do you think that's empowering?
That's a whole other topic.
Yeah.
OnlyFans is
Stick to the main topic right now.
No, I meant to say like it's a sub. It's a yes or no, like or just like a little brief. Like, what do you guys think? Because you guys are you're asking about Sydney Sweeney doing all that
Mhm.
stuff, right? So I just wanted to like
I think it's in the same line. It goes along.
there's
the
a
same
very
lines, I
thin
guess.
line. I think there's a very thin line. There's a very gray area in all of this conversation because if you think about it in a way, they're empowering themselves. They're empowering the body. They're empowering everything that they can. But I think empowerment comes when it's just you taking charge of this is who I am and I'm not ashamed of it.
I agree.
And hypersexualization comes when you're basically selling a soap that has a hole in it. That's where you're sexualizing. You're
That's
putting
true.
yourself to be sexualized.
Because like
That is
for
true.
OnlyFans, like you pay, it's a subscription, right? So you pay
I
to
don't know.
see it.
That's a
I
career.
know.
Trying to
For
get me.
anyone who doesn't know, it's a subscription-based platform. So girls put their pictures on it, whatever, and you can purchase their pictures or videos, whatever it is. So I agree with you in that sense. Where in OnlyFans, like at least like they're putting it in a platform where not everyone has access to it, and only like their subscribers technically who pay for like their pictures. So it's a little bit different. But with Sydney Sweeney, like she's putting out in public and media to for everyone to see. You know,
And then she gets mad when everybody is like, she gets criticized for it, you know? And if you want to take that empowerment movement, and people, obviously, there's going to be criticism that comes along the way. She said something along the lines of, well, if Jacob Elordi did this exact same thing, you guys would be praising him. But in truth, if Jacob Elordi did the same thing, I think everybody would say ew too.
Yeah.
Like,
It's you.
yeah.
but
is it.
that's how she kind of like went with the conversation.
Mm.
It's about her reaction, I guess, that makes it more towards hypersexualization than the empowerment.
I think it's also with when you were comparing OnlyFans to Sydney Sweeney, I think it's like she's already reached that reached that level where she doesn't need to, like, if she were to make a product, like why would you make it that, you know? She has this like opportunity and this platform to actually create something. Why would you create that? But with OnlyFans, it's like it's kind of random girls that are creating an OnlyFans. I feel like I would need to know the perspective of someone that has an OnlyFans to kind of know like if it kind of goes along the same
Yeah,
lines
what's
or
going
not.
on?
'Cause-
I mean, for example, Megan Fox, I think would be the perfect example to put. She was sexualized heavily in the 2000s, but she never used that to
As-
sell
yeah.
products or market herself in that way. Even to this day, I think Megan Fox is like really amazing.
Mhm.
But if you see her and how she like shows herself and pertains to herself, she knows what people think about her. She
Mhm.
even talks about it in interviews like they wanted me for roles of where they wanted a sexy chick, or like if they wanted somebody like that, like a sexualization role. She knew that, and then she said that later on she wanted to steer away from it because she didn't like that. Meanwhile, with Sydney Sweeney, she hates that, but she's also marketing herself towards that
Yeah.
in a way.
It's a bit hypocritical. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think what that does is I don't think it's empowering at all to answer the question,
Yeah.
but I think the reason why it's not empowering is in cases where I feel like it gives men another reason to say that women are the problem.
Hmm.
I feel like it's a big
Exactly, I
one, and I don't
agree.
think it's empowering in that sense at all.
Exactly.
That's really smart. I didn't think it that way.
Like you can be a girl boss without
Do you
The
feel
whole-
like girls who actually, besides Sydney Sweeney and like the OnlyFans chicks, there are like girls out there that do a lot for society that don't get that limelight?
Yeah.
Like, why do you think that is?
I
Wait,
think
can you elaborate? Like, what do you mean, like, a lot? Like a
So,
lot.
like
in
for
society?
example, the first female astronaut from I think India, what was it, or was it some other country? I forget.
Mm.
Like,
I know
I don't even know her name. No one talks about her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
She was
Yeah.
in
We
the
all know
space
Neil.
for
Ar-
8
what
months.
is it? Neil Armstrong. We all know him though.
No.
No,
She
no.
was in space for 8
Okay.
months, and they just got back or something
Well,
like that.
Yeah.
regardless, what I
Yeah.
meant to say is like I'm sorry. I'm going to talk to Nepali society, right? There is a Nepali astronaut, right?
Yeah.
There's are you in
Forgot her
NYP or
name.
something like that?
Yeah.
I can't forget her name,
Yeah.
but like but they're talking about celebrities more back in Nepal,
Yeah.
but they're not really talking about like they're not glamorizing
Yeah.
that girl who's going to be Nepal's first astronaut.
Yeah.
Why do you
I
think that is? Like
Oh,
that is something they should be
That
proud
that
of.
is the problem that I always say. It's like
It's-
people drawn towards those people who should not be influencing people's
Mhm.
mind like
Yeah.
these movie stars and singers, like, and these kind of like thing, Taylor Swift.
Can I say something?
So like these just one
Yeah,
second,
go ahead.
and this is just one, and like these people are influencing, like, and people should be more looking towards like people working in different areas as like environmental protections or going to Mars or going to these, and they have more
Astronauts.
informations to, they have more knowledge to regarding like how people should live their lives, but people like are drawn towards like these Hollywood celebrities and singers and more. Yeah, you can say.
I think it's because people, especially in our society, are just so nosy.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
nosy.
Like
Yeah.
we are always in other people's business. And I go to like a prominent, like dominant, like brown, like college. So everyone there is Indian, and everyone talks about everyone's situation. So I've been there, I've experienced it, and I think in our society, because like we were getting into earlier, how we're ashamed of speaking out about ourselves because of what society is gonna say. Society loves talking. So why would they want to talk about like NASA or like astronauts or something
I wanna
good?
talk about something that's
That's
scandalous.
not
Yeah.
dramatic. It's not fun. It's not juicy. Like I'm not getting any like drama out of this entertainment.
Yeah.
So I think it's genuinely like entertainment for other people to talk about the
Yeah.
celebrities, the drama, like all of the things that they're doing, whatever, because they're enjoying it.
I mean,
Yeah,
even
know?
with the example of Taylor Swift, right? She's known to like, oh, she's dating people. Like
Yeah.
they talk about her marriages, her like engagement and whatnot, but they don't talk about all the donations that she's done
Yeah.
in the past like
'Cause that's
few
not
years while
drama.
she
It's
was
not
doing
fun.
Eras
Yeah.
tour, the amount of compensation she's given out to people and also donated in hospitals. That's not something people talk about because they don't want to talk about the good things. They, especially with women, I think they want to highlight what's more scandalous,
Mhm.
what's gonna be on
agree.
the gossipy side
The
of
front
things, the
page.
front
Yeah.
page, the
S-
newsy.
So the reason why I asked that, right? The narrative you said, like, women don't like to talk about, they want to be more gossipy, like what you just said right now,
I
right?
never said I didn't say women want to be gossipy. I
That's
said
just-
they want to
yeah.
talk about women so that they can gossip about women, which is completely different than
Okay,
what
okay,
you just
okay,
said.
I mean, I heard it
What's
wrong.
wrong?
Yeah, I heard it wrong. But then why don't women, in general,
Mm.
come together and then focus on other women that are so successful? Like, for example, why is Kim Kardashian, for me, I think I had this conversation, how she got popular and all that stuff.
Mhm.
Why is she more glamified or glorified
Mhm.
than, I don't know, there were maybe so many successful women, that did more meaningful stuff. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah, there are.
I think you have to blame the media at the end
Yeah,
of the day.
I think in the context of when you were just talking about the Nepali astronaut, my entire For You page when it comes to like Nepali For You page, Nepali TikTok right now is on the whole like Basha Raut, the actress, and her husband cheating on her. That's what's like I
I
have,
don't even know who that is, but please.
but
I am
like
not on
it's like
socials. I
things
don't know
like
what
that. That's on my For You page. It's about other people's personal lives rather than what like people are actually
That's true.
are
Yeah.
actually doing good. And the reason why is because when you're scrolling and when you're looking through media, hearing things like that releases like dopamine in your brain, and like
Yeah, yeah.
you actually like you want more of that. You don't want to hear knowing that the astronaut or whatever the Nepali astronaut is about to go to space or something. That's just like, oh wow, like that's cool.
That's a success story.
Okay, swipe. Like
Yeah,
that's what
it's-
it's gonna be like.
Like
It's
you're
like-
not scrolling to like learn. You're scrolling for entertainment.
And
you
it
know, at the
also
end of the
depends
day.
on the age category. Half of the people on social media right now are either like kids our age or kids or like I
Old
guess
people.
like old people,
Let's
like
be
our
real,
mom's
old people.
generation. So our age, I guess there is a good amount of us that want to know like what people are like, what like
What's
good
going on in
people are
society,
doing.
yeah.
Mhm.
But then there's also really like a bigger population that is more interested in that drama aspect of people's lives because it's just more entertaining. It's all about entertainment at the end of the
So
day.
it's not my habit, it's just a dopamine in my head that I have to
Yeah,
blame.
it's
Yeah.
actually proven. So I would like to add her. It's like gossip. It's more fun for people to talk about than science and these
Yeah.
kind of stuff, because science is like boring for a lot of people.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Not in that area. So if you're a programmer, you get excited about like new programming IDEs or new programming that's coming to. But if you're not in that field, this
Exactly.
kind of thing, like about people, everybody likes to gossip, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
So it's a
if-
common
It's relatable
ground.
for
it's
everyone.
common
Yeah.
for everyone.
Yeah.
So and gossip, it's much more about people. It's much
Personal.
more easier to like transfer between
Mhm.
people. It's like an organism.
Yeah.
Just transfer, transfer,
Yeah.
transfer. It's just like a virus, transfer, 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 and it's so easy. It's like where people can come and and actually, according to studies, this is also needed. Otherwise, people would not bond easily.
I was
Mhm.
going to say,
Yeah,
gossip is also like
yeah. People
said
would not
to
bond.
decrease crime rates,
Yeah.
apparently.
Really?
Because when you gossip, people have the fear of like, oh, they might be talking about me if I do something wrong. So it kind of keeps you a little bit morally in check because people are scared of what people might say about you. Like, so that's one thing. But to go back to your point about the Kim Kardashian thing, which I have like completely forgot the whole length of thing, but what I wanted to say was celebs live through media.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Media is their source of income. They call paparazzis on themselves. They let the news outlet know what's going on in their life.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we are prone to see that a lot more than
Yeah.
I'm not going to put out my achievement, and even if I do, which media outlet is going to be like, oh,
No
she's
one
doing
cares.
something.
Exactly.
Nobody
Yeah.
cares about me
Yeah.
because I'm not a big celebrity.
So that's like the question: does the
Mhm.
media control the people, or the people control the media?
The media
media
controls the
controls
people.
controls
the
the
people
Absolutely.
at this
100%.
point.
But
Yeah.
you just said like the celebrity themselves also control the media. That's why you see.
But how
everything
many
out there.
celebrities are there compared to normal people?
But
Not-
they
not
they
all-
control
not
the
all
media
celebrities,
because they
though.
know that the media is controlling them.
Exactly. Like they are in cahoots with each other. Media works because of celeb news. Celebs work because of media.
And it's for the
Mhm.
people that have the power to control the media, not
and it's
anyone.
very few of them.
Yeah.
If you had to
top
change
celebrities.
something, each one of you single. I'll ask her she first because I feel like she brought a good point. If you had to change that whole aspect of how the media is controlling, what would you change? I'll go each and every one of you one by one.
Wait, what do you mean?
So like you know how you said the media is like controlling and then the celebs and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
If you could change that so that way like more people successful people would get more a little bit of a limelight or spotlight, what would you change?
Or anything that would affect the current status quo.
Or just
Yeah.
change the system in general
Sit-
to make it fair.
Yeah.
Change the system in general.
Like how the media
Like,
is.
I will
like,
give an
you know how you
example.
said like, oh, astronaut cool, swipe and you never see it again.
Yeah.
But you just see like usko छोरीले यस्तो भन्यो usko like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
whatever. If you had to change that, like you personally could change that, what would you do?
I think if we start talking about successful people more, then it inspires us to like kind of know what they're doing and what's going on with them to kind of see like
No,
Oh,
but
like-
what would you like to change in the like core
In the
system? or
system, in the whole
in the
System, yeah.
system like
Yeah.
of social media.
Yeah.
I honestly don't feel like social media is a good outlet. If
Like-
you use it nicely.
Or like you could change the algorithm so that
Yeah,
those
yeah.
stories more come. Those kind of examples.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you could change the algorithm, obviously, but
You just copied mine. You say something else.
well, that's what I was thinking. I thought I couldn't say things like that. I'm a little
No, you can say anything.
yeah, I guess changing the algorithm would be a way, but it's really difficult. Like I genuinely can't think of anything that would change it. I seriously can't think of anything because it has a lot to do with everyone's like personal opinions and
Yeah,
what they feel
algorithm
like.
can be changed actually, and if you go even in TikTok, there's STEM area, right?
It
Where
can
you
change.
just,
It can be
like, yeah,
changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's only STEM area. So instead of the STEM area, you just put it out front. Everything about science, technology, and
Engineering, math.
maths, right? So only those type of information will come, because if you look in TikTok, there's a STEM area where you can just look
Yeah.
at. You haven't looked
I
at.
thought algorithm was based on what I like. And what I say.
Just to his point, like I have STEM, which is science,
Technology.
science, technology, engineering,
Yeah.
math, right?
Yeah.
Tech. You'll just see that.
Okay.
And in China, I think the government is like, no more of this dancing stuff. We want educational stuff on the children.
So they only
up
push
to a certain
educational
age.
stuff. Yeah.
Below a certain age or like that.
But do you really think that would? Don't you think it's a little too late to, like,
Start somewhere.
create those? Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying be like.
But I
China.
mean, it takes you to change that algorithm into STEM. But what makes you think people would actually want?
Well,
to do
okay. I think Australia recently banned social media
Really?
for children under the age of 13 or 16.
Yeah, I think
I
so.
forget what it was.
There's
Just
a lot of
recently.
nonsense is there, and exploitation is
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
But what about you, Arya? What do you think? What would you change?
So if I could change anything magically, what I would do is like we were talking about earlier, how the media controls celebrities and like the celebrities like control media. I would make those like top celebrities talk about these facts. Like, you know what I mean? Like they would be the ones
That's good.
posting about,
Yeah.
this person went like is in I guess an astronaut or they're doing this, whatever. So we're only like at the end of the day gonna listen to celebrities, so might as well use them like,
Mhm.
for us to learn and gain something out of, in my opinion.
Do you know Chloe Abraham in like YouTube? She pops up. So she's
Mhm.
really beautiful girl. So she talks about stars, science, and all these kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So she attracts a lot of people towards science and
Mhm.
space and those kind of things. And
I haven't heard
that's
that, I
actually
like that.
working out. Yeah.
Maybe I would say like that, you
Yeah,
know,
like
in my
that.
opinion.
Deal.
Yeah.
100%. I feel like I'm losing my voice with each like time I speak.
Just to piggyback on the Australia thing, so it's going into effect in this year. So under the age of 16, social media is banned.
I wish America had that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
I
that's
really
a
do,
good thing.
because kids these days, it's just all corrupt. Like their brains are all mush because of social
Yeah.
media. Like, you know, it's so off topic.
It's
but
really
just to, like
sad.
say,
Yeah.
whenever I was little, there's this stage called being a tween, where
Yeah.
you're kind of in the
Yep.
middle of like you're a child, but you're not a teen yet, and it's like I used to talk about like justice, these like fun stories. But now these little girls who are 11 and 12 go to Sephora, they wear
look
crop
so
tops, they look
much
so
like-
old, like,
Dude.
and it's because of social media. They
It's
want to look
weird because of
older.
Social media.
You know, I cannot stress enough. Yavi, 14, makeup, crazy. My niece,
And that's
and you know,
crazy.
having to get her Ulta and stuff like that. And I try not to like wanna like get her. I kind of made a decision for myself. I don't want to get her like makeup and stuff.
Yeah.
I want to take her to do more hey, let's go-
Activities.
Activities. I want to go spend some time with you. I want to take you out for dinner. Let's go out, have some fun. Those are the type of things because I think that's more important.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, when I was growing up, man, when I look at middle school kids back in my day, and I look at middle school kids now,
They're not kids anymore.
They're-
They're like adults, like mini
they-
adults.
Yep.
it's like insane the day and night difference.
Yeah.
How guys
But
and
like
girls dress up.
Adishree said, like whatever is catchy, whatever your brain wants, you want to see that more. And until and unless some ban is there, just
Yeah.
like the Australian government, it's not gonna change.
Yeah.
But then there's
So-
VPN. Like people always find a way around
Yeah,
it.
there's always a way. There's
It's-
always a route.
Social media is just that
Technology. It's just
addicting
technology,
and-
guys.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's a little sad how kids these days are so reliant on social
I don't
media.
have
Yeah.
socials right now, so
Good
Yeah.
for you. Honestly,
I-
don't get on.
I
that.
did
Can't
that
relate.
for a week and it did not work. I was constantly re-downloading it.
even
It's
me
so
too.
hard.
How long has it been since I have been off social media?
It's been a while.
It's been a
Mm.
while.
Yeah.
I want to try
And
that.
for
honestly,
you.
I've
That's
been
really good.
so
Very
happy
empowering.
mentally.
Does
Yeah.
it genuinely work?
It's generally like I feel more creative.
Mm-hmm.
I'm indulging more of my time instead of scrolling. I'm doing something else.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm playing a little more video games on my phone than I should be. But at the same time, I'm not just doing that. I'm also
Yeah.
getting myself to like get up and do any other chores that I usually would just spend my time scrolling.
Yeah.
So it's
Here-
actually been good for me.
Yeah, here's an experiment I tried out. I don't use social media too much, but when I'm trying to use phone instead of playing like games, like play different games like general knowledge questions, just read about it, and those are fun too, like map quizzes, those kind of thing, mathematics, and it like it really sharpens your brain.
Yeah.
Brain in just like 7 days.
Yeah.
7 days you start feeling the effect. I found it. You can ask her too, right? It's just like in 7 days instead of using Facebook and Instagram and those kind of stuff. So if you just use those, download those apps, most of them are free too, and or like $2 or $3. It just starts sharpening your brain so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried doing this thing where I have two accounts on Instagram. One's like main for where I like pretty much follow all my friends and family, and the other one I only follow like things that I
Finsta.
like. Not the Finsta. Well, kind of like a Finsta, but I guess back in the day it was a Finsta, but now it's not anymore.
Mhm.
But like now I
It's
only
like
follow
positive.
things that I like and I'm inspired by, and I always feel like to everything there's always a positive and negative, and if you use it for a good reason, I always feel like social media could be
Yeah.
positive. So that's what I was trying to use social media like I only followed things that like genuinely inspired me and not things that would like make me feel bad or like just
I did that too.
yeah.
Like to ask, arranged marriage, is it good for societies, or because it has worked for like thousands of years, 2000, 3000, 4000
Let me
of
have
years,
my cup
and
of
now
tea.
in the 21st century, it's all love marriage, love marriage. The people
I
are
am
like love
so
marriage.
bad.
So what do you guys think about it?
Okay, there's a lot of different perspectives when it goes into arranged marriages. It's been so common in our society for the longest time, right? Especially in Nepali society. It's always been arranged marriages. My mom got her arranged marriage because her cousin ran away with someone else. That's all. Like yes.
Oh, so she was the
So
victim.
Yeah, so my mom's cousin, she
suffered.
was like 20, and like her older cousin, she
That's
ran
so
away with some other
sad.
guy, and then my grandpa was like, well, what if my daughter runs away? So
Get her married right
Yeah.
away.
and
But-
he did. So that's
but-
why she got married to my dad.
But if that didn't happen, you wouldn't be
That's
here.
true. It's why like it's such like a gray line or so many different perspectives, because I was so lucky that my parents like met each other and like they're so happy now. So in these cases, like some arranged marriages, they go really bad in a way of the man is violent or whatever, and he hits the girl, he beats her or whatever, and you can't get out of that, especially like being Nepali, like in this society, especially in Nepal. So it goes like a lot of different perspectives, like different ways, you know. So arranged marriages, I don't know, like they could be good.
No, I'm
I
talking
know.
about like forget about the past and all the peoples that they suffered, and also
Mhm.
going forward, what do you
Yeah.
think should be
I think-
more promoted or more looked into?
I think
A more open arranged marriage,
Yeah,
maybe.
or they get to like know each other first before getting married.
like
you
I
know?
think that's what people have these days, right? But with arranged, I have so many opinions. I don't know where to start.
Really? You don't
I
say.
don't know where to start. But I
Uh,
think arranged
Two
marriages,
opinions max.
I think arranged marriages work if both parties are looking for the same thing, right?
Yeah.
I've seen it work as well, even in this generation. My friends, like, where my friend really wanted to be introduced to somebody through their family, and that was their priority. So it makes sense. It worked out. They both vibed. Great for them. But I've also know about cases where they did vibe at first, and then later, not so much.
Mhm.
Like it's a very 50-50% chance.
Yeah.
I think it's very individualistic because the way we see arranged marriage versus the way the generation before us sees arranged marriage, I think it's very different.
Mhm.
Like for them, it's like for a lot of like our mom and probably dads, like the dads had a job, did something, and if they were capable, the moms would be married to the dads, blah blah blah, end of story. They get married, they see each other's pictures. Like that's how my mom and dad got married, was like somebody showed her, like his cousin showed her like him my mom's picture,
Mhm.
and my mom saw his picture, and they were like, okay, we're gonna get married, and they saw each other in like engagement day.
Yeah.
Which is, to me, to think of that is honestly, I am terrified just by the idea of it, that
Mhm.
you are just looking at a picture, and the
Yeah.
next thing you know, you're
You're getting
engaged to
married
this
them,
person,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you're married to that person.
Mhm.
That does not make sense. But when people get to know each other and get to know where they stand, and if that works, then obviously arranged marriage, even in this day, I guess works. But it's very individualistic choice. And also I think the pressure that comes within marriage also plays a big role about how an individual is going to react to the arranged marriage proposals. I don't know.
Yeah.
I could
I
be
agree.
wrong,
No, I agree.
but like, I think we have arranged marriage people here. No? No arranged marriages here?
Well, I don't know. Do you guys consider you guys arranged?
Yeah,
You think so?
Yeah.
forced.
Because I introduced them.
No, it
No,
was
no.
not arranged for us.
It was
and
not like I think they said that.
You know how I introduced
I was
them?
like just like wondering about you, if you were
yeah, that was
Semi,
arranged.
yeah.
semi-arranged.
Yeah.
See-
I would say arranged. I would say arranged,
And-
and it wasn't good. But
We know the story.
yeah, exactly. You know the story. They don't know the story. But no, but the way how I got them together was, it was the funniest. I guess Rashmi was the funniest thing, right?
Ever.
It was so she I had gotten to know her through whatever situation, I had gone through at that time, the arranged.
Mhm.
And then that's where I met Rashmi,
Mhm.
and she had posted a story of Momo. I was like, ooh, chicken Momo. And she goes like, veg. And instantly I was like, ew, in my mind. And Mike was basically going through his side quest of being vegetarian, gluten
At that
free, and
moment.
all that moment, right? At that moment. And I was like, oh, my younger cousin, he's like that too. Maybe we should just talk to him. That's all I said. And then I messaged him like, hey, she's vegetarian and you're a vegetarian. Maybe you should talk to her too. And I left it at that. And next thing you know,
They're
they're
happily
dating and
ever
they're
after.
happily ever after.
Oh,
And
that's so
Aw,
cute.
they owe me
Now, I
the
wouldn't,
rest of their
I
lives.
wouldn't say that's arranged.
That's not arranged.
He just
It took
introduced
a
you
lot of
guys, but
time
you
for
guys
us.
did the
Yeah.
full work of
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
like a meet cute.
and there was no
Yeah.
family involved. I mean, your family, but like there was no other extra entity involved.
Like an
You
elder
didn't have to
person, you know?
directly go in like, oh, like we're gonna think about family, what they're gonna think about, like,
Yeah.
oh, your mom,
Mhm.
your dad. You didn't have to go through that.
You
So
know
I
why
I
it
mean,
worked?
that's the best thing happened, I guess,
Yeah.
because we had that freedom, I'll
Yeah.
say. If arranged marriage would be like there with the independence and with no pressure, it would work.
Yeah, that's why I
But a
always
lot
keep
of
asking his-
cases, I mean, especially for women and in my household as well, like they need an answer to say, like, why no?
right away,
Yeah.
it is so
Why?
annoying.
So my
And-
second question is, why do parents feel like that? Like,
I love
have
how
to make their kids married
don't
as soon
know.
as possible, or
My mom
marriage
is
only
even
their
like that.
certain culture you have to marry.
Oh,
Why do
yeah.
they think like that?
Do you remember the stuff that our parents used
Yeah,
to
yeah.
say? Tell us.
I really
I think it's
don't
because
agree
of
with that
other
sentiment.
people talking. It's
You-
definitely because they're being pressured by like the other
Yeah.
aunties and
At
uncles.
the,
saying.
at the end of the day, it's for them like, हामी यो समाजमा बस्छौँ,
Yeah.
यही समाजमा
Yeah.
बस्ने हो, यो समाजले के भन्छ, हामीलाई मतलब हुन्छ,
Mhm.
इज्जत, अनि अरू के word हुन्छ
But
अरे, यस्तो यस्तो like
With
all that
that,
bullshit
I've
words.
heard that, but I always say, like to my dad, I'm always like, or like to my parents in general, I'm always like, when you're lying in the hospital bed, like when you're in that hospital bed really sick, I'll just go agadi, like there's only gonna be 4 people that's gonna be next to you. त्यो समाज हुँदैन के जति बेला आफूलाई चाहिन्छ
Yeah.
that samaj is not gonna be there. So
Agree.
why are you so worried about that samaj who's not ever gonna be there for you, but who is always gonna be disappointed no matter what you do? You can never make society
The
find
samaj is
something
gonna
to
be there
disagree.
for
ever. They'll
free
always
meal.
find something.
That's about it.
They will never say, wow, like तपाईँको छोरीले यस्तो राम्रो गरे, because in the back of their mind they're like, अब मेरो छोरीलाई त योभन्दा राम्रो बनाउनु पर्छ.
Exactly.
Nobody's ever happy for you.
Exactly. She like brought like a
Nobody-
very good point.
Nobody's ever happy
You know
for
what's
you.
crazy? That she's like the youngest. She's like, what, 19?
Oh, I'm oldest. Oh wait, in here I'm the youngest. I thought you were talking like
Yeah,
in
yeah, yeah.
general.
Not in your family,
Yeah.
but like here,
Yeah.
right? You're 19, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like we hear, like you went through this when you were younger, and you're
Yeah.
still going through right now, and she's still hearing it, and it's already like a gap of like between both of you is like nearly
10 years.
10 plus years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's still like hearing, like
Yeah,
it's
same
so
thing.
embedded.
Yeah.
That's
I
that's
think-
what is like disturbing part for me. I mean,
So why do you think, like, besides that, besides society, is there anything else?
it's all pressure, I'll say.
is pressure.
Because of my experience, because I've been through that thing. Even, in my family, I mean, we even got in a lot of fights in between because they wanted to see, like, they wanted me to meet someone, which I
Mhm.
disagree before meeting him. Maybe we were friends at that time. But I took my stand and then I said that no. If I say no, then I'm not going to go. We had a huge fight. And later on, when everything, like, were cool, then I took, like, my parents, like, in a room and I told them, like, why you were wrong.
Mhm.
I mean, you can never do these things to us or even to my sister. I
Yeah.
give them my example of one of my friend. Like, she was a bit older, but her parents were like always, whenever she wants to get married to whoever she wants to get married, we'll just approve. Like, they were not like, bothered by the society or anything. Like my one of my friend, she just rejected maybe 1,000 of boys.
1,000?
Yeah, maybe I don't know. It's like
She's just exaggerating.
just exaggerating, but
Yeah.
maybe like 10 at least boys,
10 to 1,000.
10 at least boys. I mean, she was like maybe more. I mean, she had that freedom, That's why I was like I told my parents like she had the freedom and she definitely chose the right person. I mean, you should never do that. You did that to me. I took a stand. What if like I didn't?
Mhm.
And please never do that to my sister.
Even like the samaj, right? Even within the family, even when it comes to studying, right? You had
Mm.
shared stories.
Oh my God, a lot. Like my family, especially my mother, was so like, I don't know, in the society pressure that she wanted me to go specifically to join science and do doctor and be doctor, That's like
Okay.
everyone could relate to.
Yeah.
I mean, that was so stupid. And I even schooled my parents, especially my mom. And now she says, like, we need everyone in the family, even actor, even, whoever, whatever profession like you want to choose, you have to choose. Like, that's how you need to school, I guess, your parents.
Yeah.
Because They don't know.
Yeah.
Why of the same culture or those kind
I
of
think I have
things?
the answer to that. A lot of our parents think that if it's somebody from a different background, they're not going to understand where you're coming from or how you were raised and all that bullshit. Honestly, I call it bullshit because it is bullshit.
Mhm.
How I see it is like if somebody from a different culture, a different ethnicity, or anything that's different from who you are, right, is open enough to love you for who you are and respect you for who you are and respect your culture, then they wouldn't have any problem doing the same to your family, to the rest of your culture, and to the rest of the society because that's how it's built. Like I think marriage is built on love, trust, respect.
I really like what you said, but I think the word love just gets to them. They're just like,
Yeah.
cheese, the
Yeah,
love
and
so
They say
cute.
stuff like, okay, let me tell you, they say stuff like this. मायाले त कहाँ जिन्दगी जान्छ र
Yeah, exactly.
love के love आज होला भोलि छैन
Uh-huh.
बत्तै पनि and then more wait you guys haven't let me complete, you're already laughing आज छ भोलि छैन अनि love त बसिराखे भने जोसँग पनि पर्छ
I love that line. It's a classic.
Like you're stuck over there, so you have to love, right?
That's
Yeah.
not a Stockholm syndrome. That's not a good thing. You're not loving them for who they are. Or
You're loving the
you just
situation,
like
technically.
love them because you're forced to love them.
Yeah,
Not because
exactly.
you genuinely, from the bottom of your heart, think this person is nice, like they're kind to me. It has nothing to do with their behavior, their personality. It's like, I guess.
They don't
So,
understand.
you guys
I
are
guess, you know
saying
what? To kind of be on our parents' side just a little bit, I'm sorry, to give
Yeah.
them some grace too. Like they, at the end of the day, they're your parents and they want what is the best
Yeah.
for you in their eyes. So whenever they're pushing like a man towards you or a career or whatever, it's because like in their own like perspectives, that's what's best for you and they want what's best for you.
And I
Even
try
though if
to
that's like not what you want personally, like
Yeah.
like in
Yeah.
their eyes, unless you tell them otherwise.
but they cannot know the person like
just by
personally,
exact-
right?
Mhm.
They will not only know the person by culturally,
Yeah.
or is he rich or not,
Career
or
wise.
is career wise, or if it's, and is that like important in marriage too,
Of
to balance
course.
everything out?
It's important, but
like-
But what is
it-
more important though?
I think it's you are the one who's spending 24/7,
Yeah.
365 for the rest of your life, maybe, or hopefully, or whatever you want to put it as, with this one person, right? And your parents are choosing them just based on their background and what they think is
Good for you.
correct and
Mhm.
good for you according to the society standards,
Yeah.
not your standards.
Okay.
yeah.
That's the difference I think that makes it is like society standards. What a common phrase that I hear is a lot is like running out of time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
As a woman, you're running
Yeah.
out of time. You're not gonna find a lot of men.
Yep.
You're not going to like be able to
Have
breed children.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You're not going to be.
Breed.
'Cause I think everybody knows like my stance on
choose those words?
because like I have my certain stance on children. I think it's very obvious.
No, go on.
But like that's the kind of agenda that says like society says this, so you have to do this according to their standards, and you try to tell your parents, right? Like this is what society's saying, but like you have to look it through my perspective. I get it from your perspective because I think as kids we do see it from their perspective, what they grew up with, and we do keep that in consideration, saying like we understand you were married young.
Yeah.
This is the situation then. But it's been 30 years since my parents got married. In 30 years, from writing letters, you can just now FaceTime people.
Yeah.
That's how much the world has changed.
Mhm.
And you can't say world has changed, but some things don't change. It's such a messed up mentality I think that people have, and it's not just like in one family, right? I heard from like maybe out of 10 people, 8 people
Yeah.
have that issue
Yeah.
where the family is very, and out of those 8 people there's always 2 who are just stubborn as hell and they're ready to disown their children for that, which for me it does not make sense because you give birth to your child and apparently you love them unconditionally because parents love is unconditional. But when you're putting these pressures out to these children, you are putting conditions on the love that they're supposed to receive or they're supposed to get. it puts a pressure on the child too. And what I think parents fail to recognize is that when you do that stuff, the child is not doing things for their happiness, but now they're like in a pressure to think about their parents' happiness, and they put that in front of their happiness, which is why later on people might have fights. They might either live in an unhappy marriage or they're gonna get divorced. If you bring out the word of divorce again,
Yeah.
then the same dialogue is gonna hit you.
Exactly.
Society, समाजले के भन्छ यस्तो सानो कुरामा, like it's the same shit again, and it's always the girls who have to face, I guess,
Yeah.
that part of the burden. And with arranged marriage, it's not that it's a problem, but I think people fail to recognize that love, when it comes to love, the way I see it personally, I don't know if you guys agree, but
Yeah.
when you fall in love with somebody, you're not falling in love with their family background,
Yeah.
who their parents are, what they do, or who they are culturally, ethnic. You're falling with the person for their character, their personality, and how they treat you.
Yeah.
I think that's super important. And at the end of the day, if you're trying to spend your life with somebody, I think that matters regardless if it's arranged or love. And it's a lot easier for you to have that open choice and freedom to love somebody and be like, this is who I choose, then be like, have that freedom of choice, but all the choices are just
So narrowed.
so narrowed down, and you can't even technically pick one because that's not what you wanted in
Yeah.
the first place, and they're the one who pick it for you, and you have to pick from the choices that they choose for you. So it's not really a choice or a freedom. It's more like you're in a prison cell and you have the option to be like, what kind of food do
A,
you
B, or
want?
C.
A, B,
You
or
choose
C.
now.
You have to choose one. It's not like you're out in like maybe let's say a food uh market or
Like a buffet. or
like a
whatever.
buffet or
Yeah.
like a food mela, like whatever it is. Like if you have like different things that you can select from, you have more freedom. You're excited because of that freedom
Yeah.
to be able to explore. And does not mean that you have to you're obviously going to choose somebody who's away from your culture. You might choose somebody who is within your culture too. People fall in love with people within their culture too. But I think it really sets people off when they have to be confined in a space, confined in a cage. Kind of feels like it's a parrot in a cage.
Yeah.
They're just doing the talking and nobody's listening.
Yeah.
So do you girls agree on that? And what do you have to say about it?
With like kind of like what Arya said earlier, I understand. I really try my best to understand from their perspective because from their understandings, like their opinions, I get it. Like they want the best for their children, and they're just very protective. With I think with South Asian parents, they literally are so attached to their children that every single action that their children does matters and hurts them and makes them emotional. And so I
hate
feel
to
like
say this correct word is controlling.
oh yeah, controlling. Yeah, so they want to control everything that we do, and like I get it, but at the same time, I always tell my parents that, like, sure, when I get to a place where I don't have anybody in my life and I do want to get married, if you find somebody that you feel like would be right for me, I'll choose. Like, I'll choose if I like that person or not. But I want to have my own storyline with someone. I want to fall in love and I want to actually like have that connection with somebody without it feeling like it's forced and I need to get married soon. And I always tell this to my mom, but in today's like day and age, I need to know someone for at least 2 or 3 years to continue to that marriage stage. I can't just like get an arranged marriage, you know? I need to know them for a long period of time. And yeah, I think arranged marriages could work, but I personally don't think
like it.
I don't think it would be good,
They
especially
want
in
you
our
to get married within like 3 to 6 months.
yeah,
What is-
exactly.
what is up with that?
Oh, it's
Even
it's,
people who fall in love like take at least a year or two to get
Yeah.
married.
yeah, exactly, and even 2 to 3 years is little, by the way.
Yeah.
That was just like me shortening it. I could not.
Like
Yeah.
I know like the concept of when you know,
Yeah,
but at the same time,
you don't.
I
know.
think our parents need to understand that we are adults. We know what we're doing too. Like
Yeah.
if it's just to me personally, when they don't give you that choice or the freedom, it just feels like they don't trust you.
Yeah,
They don't trust the decisions you make, and they still need to like, have this sense of control on like your life, which I think is very messed up. I get it that that's how they grew up and that's what they're used to, and it's a hard thing for them to steer away from. But at the same time, it's like, why are you not trusting your children in their judgment?
Yeah.
Because who would know you? Like, you would know yourself the best.
Mhm.
You would know what you like the best.
Yeah.
And you, even though they say, oh, we know what's best for you, you still don't know me though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is-
It's in their opinion, like
Yeah.
what they think is best for you.
And I also don't understand I also don't agree with all the restrictions there is to like an arranged marriage
Mhm.
or just like marriage in general. With all like they have to be a certain caste or certain like there's just so many restrictions, certain culture, like whatever. I just don't get it because do you really think that my children are gonna grow up
Yeah.
and they're gonna marry like a Nepali bound? Like I don't
Yeah.
know. Like
You
I
don't
don't
even
know.
know
Like,
if your
so if
children is gonna be
that
like
legacy
marrying a
is
guy
not
or a
gonna
girl,
be, is
they could be
exactly-
gay.
True. You know what? I always
If
find
that-
parents
yeah.
actually in this perspective, where whenever like way back in the day when they were like, no, like he has to be Bao, Nepali, whatever. I was like, you brought me to a country
Exactly.
with
That's another
so many
thing.
different races, ethnicities, whatever.
Yeah.
So how could you ever expect me to find that one race that you took me out of?
Yeah.
The country, by the way. So I'm in a whole different place.
Yeah.
So how am I gonna find that in a country that's so diverse and that has so many people? Like you have to be open now.
And on
You
top of
brought
that,
me
there's like
here, so you
different
gotta open your own mindset,
subtopics.
you know, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And it's also like from the narrow set of people that they choose from, right? Who they think
Exactly.
is best. The mindset might not match at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the
Trust me.
career, like it always has to be a doctor or engineer. I know so many doctors that just like they're not good people. You know, just because they're
Exactly.
doctors, they're not good people. And I personally like I want to become a doctor when I grow up. And so my mom always says to me, she's like, I think you should be marry a doctor, not because like everyone says to marry a doctor, but like he would match your career and like you guys would have the same. I don't want that because I'm not going to be home a lot of the times. I want somebody who, you know, like there's
Yeah.
always that. So it's not like I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just like not just because I'm gonna be a doctor does not mean I'm gonna marry a doctor.
Would you guys marry like a McDonald's worker guy, but he loves you instead of a really, really bad doctor?
But like,
Also, wait.
Okay, here's the thing.
Standards, though.
Yeah.
You know, like if I
why
have a
is he
college
working at
degree, I want
McDonald's? What's his
someone else to also
condition?
go to-
Exactly.
His family's really poor, and he's you know so much unlucky in
I
like
think when it
life.
comes to arranged
he
marriage,
has to-
right?
But
Hold on. I'm curious about this.
No.
I'm curious about this. I want to know their journey. I don't know what your answer is already.
What's
I
my
wanna know.
answer?
So my question is,
Mhm.
He's
alright,
like, I know your answer already. And I'm like, what's
Um,
my answer?
she said she knows a lot of doctors who are also bad people,
yeah,
right? And I said McDonald's worker guy who's working really hard, just out of luck in life, you know, didn't have a family backing, or maybe he's the first person who got an education, but just life is not going his way.
okay.
Yeah.
But he's hardworking for what he does, but he's a good person.
Okay. In that case, the number one quality I look for is hardworking and loyalty
Being a
and
good
caring.
person, yeah.
So if he has those qualities, like if he's loyal and if he's caring, then I'll support him.
I mean,
You
it's
know
also
what?
about
Like
potential,
until he
right?
gets to that, I think it's all about growing together. Like
yeah.
I will make sure he becomes a successful man that he.
Yeah, my
Is going
advice
to be.
to you guys would be who haven't
I want to
married.
hear Arya's thing. You're not the girl.
It's not a girl, guys. It's just
No,
opinion.
but I agree with Adishree. Like, you have to stick to your morals at the end of the day, you know? Because, okay, this man. could-
believe her.
Dude, because, okay, imagine what if I marry the guy, the doctor, okay? Sure, he's a lot of money, whatever. But then I'll be in a loveless marriage. So after 15 years, I won't even want to be a part of that anymore.
First
like, I'm going to hate
class.
it. No, actually. But then, okay, like, I think we talked about this earlier, too. Like, money can only buy so much happiness.
Go to Switzerland
Because
every summer.
but then you always want something new. Like that happiness doesn't stay for a while. Like
Yeah.
you can buy a new item, but then next day you want something else. You know. So at least like with that other
Wow.
McDonald's worker, you'll have love. At least,
I mean,
like, you'll be
yeah.
happy.
Finance,
At least.
bro.
At least,
That's-
yeah.
Wait. I know what you're gonna say, but I want to say, if only if the person has potential.
Yeah.
If his life plan
exactly.
is to just keep on working on McDonald's, then I'm sorry. I like a man who's ambitious.
No. I mean, you're meeting him at McDonald's. After whatever happens
That's
after that,
fine.
it's up to
Yeah,
you guys.
That's
McDonald's
fine. Like
is
if they
fine.
have the potential to like grow and they want to grow.
Mhm.
And McDonald's is just a part of life. Like I think everybody has that like one job that's a part of their
Yeah,
life,
exactly.
which they have to take in order to like go to the next phase.
Yeah.
But if their entire life plan is to work in McDonald's, then bye bye.
Okay, I'm not, that was not
I
the part.
agree.
Don't add something to my question.
I'm just like
I'm just saying.
you were saying
What was it?
My dad
Finance,
worked
bro?
at McDonald's when
What
my
was
mom
that
met
thing you
him.
said?
I
Prapti?
said
He
trust
doesn't
fund
work
baby.
at
Trust fund
McDonald's
baby.
anymore.
That was the
Trust fund
standard.
baby.
So these girls are gonna go to McDonald's today to find their love.
For dinner, guys, to McDonald's. We'll all go together.
I'm gonna send some private investigators follow them all day just to make
To
sure.
McDonald's.
To see if we're actually
No.
telling the
Yeah.
truth.
No MCDs for me.
No, I do believe that like behind every great man is this good
Yeah,
woman.
it's a woman.
I agree.
It's true.
So,
Okay.
I don't think men can be successful without.
Because I think women tend to push men
Mhm.
into
Agreed.
a lot of things that they fail to notice.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
vice versa too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Agree.
It's a
Because
Like, dual effort.
emotionally and in certain situational
Mhm.
situations, I think men are less aware than women. Not in all situations. In some situation, women could be more unaware.
Mhm.
But in a lot of situations, when men are less aware of what's happening because for a lot of them, it's logic.
Mhm.
And I think that's where there's a big part for a woman to come in and play and just be like, hey, this is what's up. This is what I advise you. And that's how they move, right? And that's what growing together is.
Yeah, it's also a need for masculine and feminine.
So my
energy, I
next
think.
question would be: do you guys think you have an advantage, uh, being in USA? The other girls in Nepal, they have more disadvantage on this kind of thing. If their family pressures, they are pressured to marrying that guy in arranged marriages. They don't want to.
That's
But
so
you guys are-
controversial. I don't know because
I think it depends on family.
I
It
think
really
it depends on
does.
Yeah.
families for sure.
But in Nepal, like lots of them are like if you take the statistics, lots of them are middle or down,
Lower middle
in
class.
income, middle class income or
Mhm.
down, and their parents forced. And most of the cases that come from Nepal are in arranged marriages.
I think these days, right, love marriage has actually been a lot common
Yeah.
Mhm.
in Nepal than it used to be, maybe
Yeah.
even 10 years back.
Mhm.
Even with my friends, like all of my friends that I have here, they all have relationships and they're from different backgrounds,
Mhm.
culturally, different groups. And I know the struggle they had to face when they first had to come to their parents and talk about this. But
Mm.
I see the relationships now with the family, with each other, and they're more happier than
Yeah.
they could have ever been. And the family's also like more accepting. When we
Mhm.
look at like middle class or even lower income classes, unfortunately in rural areas, a lot of them fall in love and run away.
Yeah.
And that's the reality of the situation.
yeah.
Oh, I think the middle class, not the lower, but the strict middle class is where a lot of these arranged marriages are
Open.
more pressured
Mhm.
and put in people because usually on the upper classes or what do you call it, first class? What do you call it?
Upper class.
Upper
Upper class?
Upper class.
Upper class, whatever. It's like first class.
Rich class.
Economy class.
Yeah,
Anyways.
the top 1%.
The top 1%, they're already like they're in top 1% because of probably their open mindedness. Like I've seen a lot of top 1% have that open mindset of how they view their children,
Mhm.
how the freedom that their children get, the freedom to express themselves.
You know what? I'm going to challenge your thought. What did Shrinkala Khatiwar do? You were like completely like against like what she did.
She was actually not in the upper 1% until she
but she was like upper class.
no,
She
she
was a
was I
celebrity.
think when she started Miss Nepal, she was middle class.
Mhm.
And then
No, but wasn't her dad like
dad
this
was
but she got like it because of the
no.
exposure she got.
I thought like
He
her
got-
dad was already a minister.
He was a politician
Politician,
minister,
so he's
but he
already
was
rich.
not
Mhm.
that big.
Yeah.
He got more exposure after she got the crown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's
Still a
how she became.
politician, though.
And then she has a lot of influence. I think like if she comes and says like my family pressurized me to marry somebody that I didn't like, I think people would like have some action towards her, considering that everybody was so devoted towards her. So I think that's again the influence that she has was a lot bigger than
Mm.
I think her parents could ever influence her. So there's always that error of margin. But I think a lot of middle class people, and I wouldn't want to name caste groups, but there are certain caste groups who are a lot more pressurizing towards
think-
their kids.
I think,
I
you
think it's
can
the
name
same
them.
for everybody.
Yeah, I think them. It's
You
okay.
can definitely name.
What about you? What about you girls? Like you guys kind of grew up over here. Do you think you'd fall in the notion of being arranged marriage? You know, getting that little
Like personally,
nice
like with
bound
like,
kita?
wait, my parents, they've been very, very open. Cause like I said, I told them how if you move to this country and like there's so many people here, there's no way you can just like put me like to one group, you know? So they've been very open in that aspect where they've allowed me to date like whoever I want to date. But for them, like the biggest thing is that what they've told me is that at the end of the day, it's you who are like who's living your own life, and you're gonna be the one who has to compromise. So let's say if I marry a guy who's Muslim, I would have to like compromise even more like for his religious beliefs than like my own. So they're like, it's what you want. Like it'd be easier for you to marry a Hindu. So they prefer me to marry a Hindu, but it doesn't have to be Nepali. As long as they're even Asian, they'd be happy.
That's how it starts. What
Only
about you,
two
Adishree?
Hindu nations, Nepal and India.
So my parents, I'm working on this with my parents actually,
Oh,
trying to change their mindset.
So your dad wants you to marry a Nepali bound?
Bound.
Which one?
Upadhyay bound.
Upadhyay bound? Oh,
Not just bound, like,
man.
what is
Bound
it?
is categories.
What's
Yeah,
the-
I
what's
mean,
the category?
so
So
they're
what
the
are
the
upper.
differences?
There's
There
Upadhyay
is Upadhyay
Jesse.
bound, there's Jesse bound, and there's Kumai bound.
Yeah.
How do you know?
Apparently,
What bound are you?
guess which one?
Upadhyay.
So our next
The-
topic, the caste
Don't
system
say
in
that.
Nepal.
Terrible.
Oh,
I
it's
mean, no. I'm curious. Let her finish.
So I'm still trying to like kind of change their mindset. I mean, I get my dad. He's in his 50s. Like I get it. In his time period, his parents kind of have that influence because they told him the same things like caste matters. Because my grandparents say that. My grandparents believe that you should marry your own caste, and I feel like the number one mistake that they make is they tie it with religion. Hinduism does not have anything to do with the caste system, and also I keep trying to tell him. I know he's gonna be watching this. By the way, caste system has nothing to do with, because it was mainly just like of people's careers and what they worked at back in the day, right?
Yeah.
Like there's people that are like, let's say the lowest caste, when they're becoming doctors, like what is the problem? I don't understand. There's no need for that social status at all. Okay, जसले पनि जे पनि गर्न सक्छ if you work for it. That's what I feel like. And so the caste system is absolutely horrendous. It was something that some man came up with
yeah.
that we still have to suffer through to
I
this
think
day.
it's also like the higher castes, like in Nepal, who want to keep it to feel the power. What is it?
To feel
Superiority,
powerful.
Like, kind of confidence,
Yeah.
you know?
It's actually the caste system in Nepal started as a power dynamic
Yeah.
thing.
The Ranas,
where-
right?
Yeah, the
They-
Ranas. A lot of the caste system, पहिला like the Baun, Chetris, they were just randomized
Exactly.
and like put in categories. I mean, that's what people followed for generations, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like Manchar are so tied to that identity
Yep.
of like a certain caste. Like you said,
Yeah.
I know my dad is also gonna be watching, so sorry, my opinions are my opinions. But a caste does not, somebody being Baun or somebody being Chetri or somebody being Newar or any other caste system that you might be from does not signify the kind of person you are.
Exactly.
Just because you are a certain caste does not mean you're good or you're bad or
Mhm.
any of that. That's your character, the morals that you develop, and the experience that life has given you. It's your mindset that makes you a morally good person and a likable person. It's not, nobody likes you because you're a certain caste or you belong from
Exactly.
a certain like space. We don't live in the 1920s anymore. Like people don't care about the hierarchy of the caste system. I mean, with my generation, we really don't give a shit.
Exactly. That's what I feel like. I think it's them caring about what their friends and their circle are going to say more than our future. Because nobody, like none of our friends, nobody's going to be like, oh, like you married like this caste? I don't even know half of the cast.
I think Arya is like, you don't know anything about this.
I barely know anything, guys. I'm just like, wait, I know the
So-
caste system,
I'm
but like, some
I'm
were
just so
funny.
surprised that you guys are facing exact thing what I was facing. I mean, I
So
don't
how
know.
did you
Man,
get through it?
Our family was. That means our family is
I
pretty
took my
freaking
stand.
awesome.
you did what?
I took my stand.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, you have to
didn't-
be stubborn,
have-
I
you-
think.
You do
You
have
have
to be
to be
very
stubborn.
stubborn.
It's not that they are going to choose wrong people for you, right? But
Exactly.
they don't know your choices like you know your
Mhm.
choices.
Mm.
And I don't know how to
I
build
mean-
that
I mean-
inside their brain.
Can I add one more thing on this? If a girl marries like a different caste, it's a big deal. But if a guy marries a different caste, doesn't matter.
Exactly.
I'll do you one
Doesn't
better.
matter.
I'll do you one better. And this is the hypocrisy,
Okay.
right? you know, when different castes get married, it's like, oh my God, so bad, right? But if a white guy comes to Nepal and marries a Nepali girl, oh yeah, come,
Because
come.
like
Be they
there is
serious?
Because that is like when a foreigner comes to Nepal, especially in Nepal, that's like super caste.
Only white people
He
there.
meets all the bounds and
There's
Oh,
this
everything.
super
fascination
racist
to white
guys.
people.
There always has
There's always a
been.
fascination
But-
towards white people.
Yeah.
A fair
Yeah.
skin, even.
Yeah.
You know.
I think it's the media and how it is that portray
Yeah.
power and all that stuff, right? But that's what I noticed.
Yeah.
And this is something I noticed a while back. But yeah, I mean, you're a white dude with whatever hair you have, red, blonde, black.
But
You go to
that's
Nepal,
not the
man,
thing with a lot.
The caste
of people
system
still, I
goes
feel
away.
like.
Yeah.
So yeah,
don't think so.
before
I
we
don't think,
end
yeah,
up
for us we
our
don't.
last topic, I would like to ask, like, do some castes have like more power? Do you think in Nepal or
But-
even in USA over other
USA.
castes?
I think it's probably
Yeah.
the higher caste.
Yeah,
right,
there's
in
like
Nepal.
hierarchy between caste system,
Yeah.
obviously.
Do they still
Because-
hold the power? Do you guys think that?
Yeah, I think so. Because like even when government jobs, right?
Yeah.
They
I
have
was gonna
certain
say.
quotas and whatnot. And
Mhm.
I see a lot of like messed up, fucked up things that people have towards these quota systems. Like just like how we have DEI here.
Mhm.
Same thing
What
in Nepal.
bad?
Had oops, my bad. Had DEI here. Nepal has the same thing with quota, right? And people with who have the quota system, obviously they're getting chance. They should. But people who don't fall under this quota, usually I think it falls like bound to the people. They don't have these quotas because most of the offices are filled by them. They don't necessarily look at the other people's achievement as the achievement that they had,
Yeah.
which is where the hierarchy and power play comes in because they're like,
Mhm.
oh, maybe they got into because like of the quota system, they got a
Mhm, yeah.
chance. Like it's not a bad thing at all, but I think there is that like
It's just represented differently.
yes, it's
Mhm.
represented differently, and I think there's that hierarchy when I mean there's a lot of clash between bounds and nevars, which honest to God I don't understand because the way I have a lot of nevar friends, and the way I've understood bound culture, I've understood nevar culture, and there's a lot of similarities
Yeah.
in their thought process, in things that they do, in how they celebrate things. A lot of it is very, very, very similar, just a different timeline.
Mm.
Like you got Nawar people have Jongku, and Mon people have something like that for some birthday. I forgot which birthday, but Mon people have something like that for like old people. And then you have like Kuldev
Oh,
Puja
yeah,
and
yeah.
whatnot. And Kul Puja is also like very big in Mon
Mhm.
culture. Like
Mm.
there's so many similarities, but people are so focused on the differences between
Mm.
all these different cultures and caste systems
Yeah.
that they don't want to like look at what works for them.
Well-
They want to look at what does not work for them,
Exactly.
and they just want to keep on focusing on that.
That's so irrelevant in politics here too.
Yeah.
Well, everybody
Like,
thinks it's a human nature problem.
Do you think it's the same problem in India, just like
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Gandhi's and
Oh,
over here
yeah.
RFK Juniors
It's
or
huge.
Of course,
JFK
I
or
think so.
Absolutely.
Bush?
I think one question I have, I guess like perspective. Do you think like how your parents think, and you're like both of well, not you as much, but like Adishi, do you feel like it prevents you from like talking to certain guys or your dating life? Or
It definitely always stays in the back of your head just because you like, but it's so bad. Like you always feel that guilt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For not doing what your parents want you to do. But
There's a certain
at the end of the day,
expectation.
you know it's wrong. Like they should not be thinking like this. So I don't think that their thinking is ever gonna completely prevent me from marrying a different caste. But I do always feel like it's gonna be in the back of my head where I'm like, I don't know, like because my parents have done everything for me,
do I
and like
want to like have to argue with my parents?
yeah, like it's not even the arguing part. It's like I don't want them to be disappointed in such a big decision in my life.
Mhm.
And there's
I
not
want them to
about-
be
Emotional
happy.
blackmail.
Yeah, like I
I
don't
think I have to
know.
talk to your dad. I'm just kidding.
I think yeah, there's like a big aspect of uh them just saying things like, well, we're so disappointed. हामीले भनेको त थियो.
Yeah.
Mm.
अब कुरा मिल्दैन. तिमी त्यहाँ गयौ रे. अब तिम्रो पछि केही भयो भने यसको जिम्मेवारी कसले लिन्छ?
Mm.
And like, you know, along those all the emotional bullshit
Yeah.
line. But in reality, the thing is, in this generation, a lot of people are living like they don't do joint family anymore.
There you go.
It's mostly nuclear based family. And even if it's a joint family, like you're spending the rest of your life with somebody and you're choosing a family for that. I think it should be your choice at the end of the day because that's the only family you get to choose on your own. Kinan, or sabita you're blood related. That's a family you get to choose on your own. And tisma pani, you don't have a choice, pani. And it's kind of your hands are tied and it's
Yeah.
messed up for like, especially at the side man, like you said, right? It's a more lenient towards male members of the family for the men to like have these things because moile ne dekhechu like that happening
Yeah.
where oh छोरा मान्छे हो like गराइदिउँ अब ठिकै छ यस्तो blah 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 and the moment like it's a daughter that comes in the family it's like हाम्रो इज्जत
Yep.
हाम्रो परम्परा and
No, I get that.
and after you get married you're not even considered to be a part of their
Yeah.
kul or
Yeah, yeah,
dynasty or
yeah.
whatever it's
Yeah.
called so what parampara and what dynasty I am so
Me
confused
too.
So Arya, like you
As
don't
if
go
we
through these
care.
as
challenges,
if
right?
we care
So you don't go through these challenges after hearing both of them. Like like you said Tennessee, right?
Yeah.
Grew up in Tennessee, so
I know. I
You're-
live in Austin.
yeah. Sorry. So you've probably I don't think you're around that many Nepali people.
I wasn't.
Okay.
No, not really.
So it's very different from like you're kind of in my boat, but you're listening to someone who's
their boat
Yeah.
in their boat. Like you know
Yeah.
like you're thinking you're like because I saw you like what
Mhm.
that was your reaction when you heard like both of them
Yeah.
shared their stuff. So what do you think about that? You know, you being from the same country,
Mm-hmm.
having
also
this
same caste system
same caste
Yeah.
system,
Yeah.
but completely having completely different
Mindset, basically.
mindset or like
Experience.
experience
Mhm.
growing up from your family. Like, what do you have to say to that? Like,
I just think I was just lucky, honestly. Like, it's the
I
truth.
think she
Like,
was
I
too.
don't know what else to say.
But
Like, answer to
Props
that.
to your parents
Yeah,
for being
exactly.
so
Because
understanding.
My
and
parents, like I promised you, I think like in my opinion and from like what I've heard from other people, they're like one of the best parents in the world. Genuinely. Like I'm just so grateful for them because they're so open minded
yeah.
and they've let me do like almost like whatever I've always wanted with my heart because they trust me
Hmm.
at the end of the day. And then they trust me enough to know that my decision is the best decision that I'll make for myself.
Yeah.
Which I think like that's what differentiates like my parents to even like I guess
Exactly.
Adishree and your parents where
exactly
in their mindsets, like they think that their decision is
Yeah.
best for you. But for my parents, like my own decision is like best for me.
and at the
Yeah.
end of the
So-
day it's trust that
so,
comes
Yeah.
so
into
if
it.
you had
Yeah.
to, let's say, give advice because you
Mhm.
know you've experienced it, you know, growing up with your parents,
Yeah.
right? Because you've had your like share of like challenges.
Yeah.
If you had to give advice to those parents who are like saying, "Oh, it's our decision is the best decision,"
Yeah.
right? What advice would you give to those
I
parents?
think you have to learn how to trust your child because it's the values that you have instilled in them
Yeah.
and like how you raise them up. So they are a mirror of you technically. So if you can trust yourself to make the best decision for your child, you have to trust that they will also do it for themselves by the way that you raise them.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
so it's their values that are inside
If
of
you raise
so
your kid well, like that
Exactly.
kid is gonna
And
do well.
exactly.
And we're humans, right? We're
Mhm.
already adults too. Even if we make mistakes, that's a mistake
of
that
life,
we make,
exactly.
and it's a lesson for
and you'll
you
learn
to
from
learn
it. You're not
from
gonna
it.
make it again.
You're not going to like die because of it,
Yeah.
but you might actually die if you choose the wrong partner.
That's so dramatic.
No, it's true though. Like
It is
Mahesh
true.
Bhatt and
I was just thought of that when you
Exactly.
said that.
come on,
In-
like we have like a
That situation terrifies me.
yeah, right.
Gosh.
That situation terrifies me. What if I get murdered?
I don't even know the Mahesh Bhatt
Prayers
situation,
for
but-
her
Oh my
daughter.
god,
I'm like hoping
Okay.
that daughter is.
right? Oh my god.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
okay. So we are almost at the ending, and I think in Arya's case, the parents are scared because she does like 15-minute abs.
They're just afraid that
This
she'll
is-
kick their-
she
kick their
she will
butts.
beat them up. You know? Listen to me, or I'll
She's like,
beat-
oh, parents have to be open, but if she goes home, she's like, hey, where's the dinners on the table? I was like,
she's like
and then
strong.
and then
Force.
the
Her
only
core is
thing
really
she
strong.
does
She can
is,
lift
like,
both of them.
Exactly.
You
She
know?
just shows her abs. She's like, yeah, you want some of this? You want some of this? Miss Stewie Griffin here. But no, I mean, it's really different perspectives. It was nice to see, like, you guys share. Like, I'm again surprising too,
Yeah, a lot of
right?
surprising.
A lot
So
of
we're
surprising.
almost at the closing. So
Yeah.
verdicts from the all girls, like what you found out informational today, or what
I
changed
mean,
your mind,
experience. I mean, it's you.
experiences.
Both of you guys is your
Mhm.
first time here. Glad to have you guys on. Women empowerment, news nonsense more. Woo! I'm just kidding.
We actually talk a lot about like issues that exist
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
society. So
Mhm.
I'm so glad these guys were open to talk about situations like this, and they're the ones who recommended me some of the topics that we talked about
Oh.
today. So I am grateful that they came up. They came up with the ideas as well as like voice their opinions, and it's their opinions. They were not trying to please anybody,
Mhm.
and I love opinionated people. So I loved having both of these girls over here today.
Did you feel like you were like shocked that they gave you these opinions? Like, did you feel like it was going to be more like what was your expectation? From
Like
them?
people pleasing opinions.
No,
you
no,
mean?
no. Like pop, or you thought it would be entertainment. Like
Oh
when
no,
they.
no, we had already discussed that we're gonna like.
No, how did you personally feel when you discussed the topics?
I actually felt really nice and relieved, honestly, like
Yeah.
to share like experiences and to know that. I mean, with Adishree, like I think I could connect with both of them on different things,
Yeah.
and I could relate to both of them. And there's a lot of like gap between all three of us, right? Like there's not a lot, but there's certain
Oh,
gaps
there's a lot
between.
with you.
Yeah, there's a lot with me and Adishree. I don't know about Arya, but anyways, like we three come from like I guess certain gaps, and knowing that all of us have different experiences, but those experiences shape us to be who we are, right? And based on my conversations with them previously on the pod, I know they're both very opinionated and they stand their ground, which I loved about them.
Mm.
So we did say we're going to talk about pop culture and whatnot, but we actually wanted to talk more on things that matter. So I'm really glad that we all took out the topics about things that we felt were very important to us and needs to be talked about, especially from a woman's perspective. So this was for me amazing,
Okay.
and I'm so glad these two came in and shared their thoughts about all of these things.
What about you, Adishi?
I feel like the topic, I love everything that we talked about today. I feel like we could still go on and on for another
right.
2-3 hours. The topic of just like how society treats women, especially because we're all from Nepal and we grew up in a Nepali community. We've seen so much, and it's a never-ending topic, but it's also something that we need to talk about more and more until I guess the older generation of women understand it in a way and know that like they don't always have to hide behind a curtain, and it's time to change that with our generation. I feel like it's like the main point that we got to today, so I'm really happy.
What about you, Arya?
No, I agree. I think the more that you speak about out about something is more change. It's how more change is going to be brought, you know? So I'm glad that even though like my voice isn't that loud or like I'm not like a famous person, whatever, I'm just glad that I'm able to speak about my own opinion and people can actually hear about it, maybe even learn something from like all of us, you know, because like you said, we all have different backgrounds and different stories. So maybe like the things that we do or like our values, maybe it can be instilled into someone else and they can learn from us even, you know?
And also
So-
special shout out to Rashmi in the back for also giving us like opinions on like and also standing her ground. I love having her on All Worlds episode because she's also very opinionated and I love hearing her thoughts as well. So thank you so much for coming, and thank you to Sushant and Mike for being in the back and asking us important questions and also learning about what it feels like for us and what our life might look like. So that's amazing. I don't know, 90% of you have subscribed or not subscribed, but
85.
95%.
85.
Oh, 85% have you not subscribed. So subscribe to our channel. We're so close to 500 subs. Keep watching News Nonsense and more. Follow Arya, follow Adishree in their platforms. Follow me too, even though if I'm not on socials, I still have accounts. Follow everybody who's here. And don't forget to hit that like button, bell notification.
Also their organization. You guys should give a shout out.
Yes. Shout out to Aryan's Light Foundation and Hamro Nepal. Bholiko Nepal, not Hamro Nepal. Bholiko Nepal. Shout out to them as well. And don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, hit that bell notification, and keep watching News Nonsense and More. Thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye.